Incorrect.
sweetheart.
Incorrect. My friend just beat H-Box. He's 17 years old. All right, younger kids are playing this game at the highest level that were born
Guess what?
after it
Nintendo
came
doesn't
out.
support yours.
Good. We don't want them. We don't want
Okay,
them.
I'm
Have
trying to
fun
see
getting
if
a public thing to host it.
are live.
We don't want that. We
Oh,
want
we are
dedicated
live.
people.
All right, we are
Do you
live
disavow all
now.
the pedophiles in your community?
Hey,
We're
we are
live.
live. Okay,
Hey.
hold on a second.
Yeah,
I
Malik,
haven't
be
gotten
nice.
to you guys yet. Hold on a
you.
second. Hold on. Let me go ahead and push this here. And then we're going to switch to, there we go. Okay, what's up, everybody? How you all doing? Welcome to the Treehouse Debates. As you can see, we have two people missing, but I managed to get someone to fill in for BJ, but Archer and BJ are both away sick. We hope that they have a speedy recovery. Take some vitamin C, lots of vitamin C, lots of vitamin D, get that zinc in there, lots of water, and lots of wet rest. We don't like to see anybody from our panel ill, so you guys get a speedy recovery. So without further ado, we're gonna have a great one. I'm not going over 3 hours this time. Last time I feel so bad. I went over, and I'm not gonna do that this time. We was having so much. I'm sorry. I guess I was having so much fun. I was having so much fun. But whether we get to the hypotheticals or not, if I see the discussion is not finished and we don't get a chance to get to all of it, then I'm just going to end it at 3 hours on time, okay? Because I don't want to be disrespectful like that anymore. So without further ado, let's get started. So I want to go ahead and introduce our panel. We're going to start with the handsome man above me, Art Cassagay. Art Cassagay, tell everybody about yourself and where they can find you.
Hello, everyone. I am Gay. Yes, you're going to ask me that question because everyone does, and I don't know, and I'll never know whether they are or not. So that settles that question for you. I have been known to YouTube. I haven't been doing it as much lately, but I do a podcast with my esteemed co-editor called Kagit. You can find us on, well, sometimes you can find us on YouTube, although we got pre-deleted the last time because we were a little too spicy. So you might find us on Rumble, and you can definitely find us on. But yeah, I'm just your, older millennial gay that, what, the Democrats kind of suck.
Yeah, I went to Rumble
here I
too. I'm on Rumble as well. I'm still on YouTube. I'm still on everything else. It's just that I'm like putting a lot of my stuff, my uncensored stuff, on Rumble and BitChute. So it looks like Rumble, fingers crossed, is going to be a competitor to YouTube. All right, next but not least, my brother from another mother, Rafiq. Rafiq, go ahead and introduce yourself. The favorite, he's the favorite here, by the way, if y'all haven't noticed.
Greetings, YouTube, Twitch, D-Live, well, not Twitch, but D-Live, but name is Reek. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at artjennings333. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, next we have my favorite buddy who did not have technical difficulties today. Yes! I was so proud of him. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my Jewish brother, Jupiter. Jupiter, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I just want to say, number one, I am a Merry Christmas type of Jew. So Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy Hanukkah. I am on YouTube. Well, I was. They keep banning me. Literally everything I do. I can't even get to 99%, and they give me a channel strike. So I don't know. You'll find me and my heterosexual life mate who happens to not be heterosexual cats. We'll find some home somewhere, but for now, I mean, they won't have us anywhere. But I also would like to air a little dirty laundry, spill the tea on Tree, if you will. It took her like 4 days to say Happy Thanksgiving back to me, and I just want to point that out. I'm Jupiter. Good to see you guys.
Hey, I'm busy. My bad. Okay, how about this? Merry Christmas, and that's before Christmas got here. There you have it. All right. And now we have a new favorite at the panel who is Trip. What would you say your political leanings? You say you're a true classical liberal?
No, not exactly a classical liberal. I'd say I'm center left on a
Okay.
lot of issues, social issues. I think Democrats get a lot wrong today because they're listening to the wrong people. But I'd say center left to radical centrist,
Mm-hmm.
not fence sitter, a centrist.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I tend
You're not a
to
Tim Pool.
I don't think he gets a lot wrong, and I know you don't like him, but I
Oh,
don't think he
I
gets a lot
can't
wong.
stand. What? He does get a lot wrong.
Oh, as far as
Leave my
Whoa,
Beanie
whoa, whoa.
Boy alone.
As far as like talking about journalism, I think he really knows the field quite a lot, and I'm interested in journalism, so I like hearing him talk about that. I've been following him for quite a while. I'm not introducing Tim Pool.
He's a
I'm
valuable
introducing myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello.
Yeah, fuck Tim Pool.
So anyway,
Little,
but yeah,
goddamn
I
bald-headed
do like
midget.
him. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Trey.
he's not here to defend himself. He's not here to defend himself. That's a cheap shot. All right. On this show, we only take shots at people who are here to defend themselves.
True.
okay?
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
But
Fuck you, cats. I'm taking shots.
Go ahead,
anyway,
Trip. I'm so sorry.
yeah, I'd say centrist more than anything else.
Okay.
But I do vote mostly Democrat. But
You voted
Anyway.
for Tulsi.
Okay.
she's a Democrat. She's like I line up with her on quite a bit. But anyway, yeah, if you want to follow me, Trip Sucks Instagram. But don't follow me.
Okay. Cool. All right.
him,
And next we have our. Well, I don't know if I want to say favorite villain, but my chat love. If I'm gonna be real. If Grimace didn't show up at the panel, my chat would lose their shit. Seriously. So Grimace, I actually adore having you here. It's funny when you're here. I love the dynamic that you have with the chat. I mean, with the panel. So please introduce yourself and thank you so much for coming and actually referring Joe to come on because I'm so glad he was able to fill in for BJ, who I'm sure you're so heartbroken is not here right now.
I'm very sad. Yeah, thank you for that nice introduction, Tree. Twitch.tv/outgrimace. I can't stream right now because I bricked my PC. I just paid double MSRP for a 3080. I'm hurting right now. I've had a rough week. I'm sorry. I tried. I prepared as best as I could for this panel. It's a little short than what I can normally do, but I'll do my best. Thanks again for having me on. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
I don't think you're
Is
gonna have
today
a
the 8th night?
problem. Huh? What did you say,
The
Trip?
camera still looks good.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're coming through fine. We can hear you. See you
yeah,
good.
this camera
Oh,
always
good.
doing fine. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
and
Your
Grimace,
computer
can
is
you
not
stop?
nearly
You
as
look
important
better
as
than all of
your
us.
internet.
Stop it.
What's that?
No king.
all right, and next we have who did we just lose?
We just lost
Rafiq. Okay,
Me.
so next, without further ado, we have our newcomer here, and hold on a second. Let me let Rafiq back in. Okay, there you go. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we have Joe. Joe Lewis is from Twitch, and I already told him this is not PC, and we say a lot of naughty words and do things here differently than anybody else. And he totally understand. So I just want him to know he can say anything he want to say and cut loose. It's not political correctness here and this and the other. We have really a good time here on this panel. So I want to thank you because he was supposed to. I had him on the docket for next month. And I contacted him like a couple of hours when BJ sent me a text saying that he was sick and he was trying to do his best to feel better, but it's not working. And I was like, Joe, can you fill in real quickly? He did. And so one, thank you so much for filling in at the last minute. And two, welcome to our panel. And introduce yourself and let everybody know where they can find you.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My name's Joe Lewis. On Twitch and Twitter, all that good stuff. Joe Lewis, the O is a 0. Same thing on all platforms. I talk about politics on Twitch, and I heard our Grimace is getting dogpiled here every month, so I figured we should get somebody a little bit more left to see what's going to happen. So maybe the pilot is going to transfer. Maybe Grimace will look like a righty at the end of tonight. We'll see what happens.
I probably will.
The lefties outnumber
That would
the
be quite
righties
an
tonight.
accomplishment. I'm just going to give you to say that would be quite an accomplishment.
All right.
Just to add on that, last week I was on a lefty roundtable and they called me a Nazi and a Confederate sympathizer. It was crazy.
What?
So we'll see how it goes.
That place is so
Typical
far left.
leftist
Whatever.
maneuvers, am I right?
believe him.
I don't know.
I don't
Typical
think he's
leftist maneuvers.
exaggerating at all. I believe him.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I
It's
believe
ridiculous.
him too.
Bill Maher is now a Nazi. Bill Maher is now a goddamn Nazi. So
Anybody
if
is
he's
a Nazi.
then
Anyone
I'm
who they don't
Mussolini.
agree with is a Nazi. That's the mentality of the people on Twitch. All right, and last but not least are
Well, Tree is a white supremacist, even though
I
she's black.
am Zeke
Oh my God,
Hala,
Candace
okay?
Owens.
All right. You shall conform to my oppression. We have the youngest one here, Phalix here. So basically, Phalix, go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone.
I just finished finals, so I have lost all of my energy. But at Phalix1 on Instagram, that's where I'm most active, and I use active in quotes because I've been busy with this lovely thing called Christmas shopping for people who don't tell you what they want and then get pissy when you buy them something. Thanks, Mom. But yeah,
Gift
glad
card.
to be back.
All right, guys. So let's get into it because I really want to get into some discussions. At least get 2 hypotheticals because I'm determined not to go over this time. So listen, I sent you guys a link. Grimace, you have the link. I know Joe has it. Grimace, you have the link to their Twitch hate speech, right?
I don't think I actually got the link, but I took a look at some videos and people going over it. I didn't actually see the text itself.
Okay, so do you? Okay, well, how about this? Guys, you can look at the screen. I'm about to turn away from it right now, and I'm just going to go over just a little bit of it. I'm not going to go over all of it, but this is their hateful conduct. Hold on a second. Let me put it in the chat as well. Hold on a second. Let me go to.
I actually read the whole thing for what it's worth. Like it hurt.
Is it? I know, doesn't it? It's like, oh my God,
I
are
didn't
they
either.
serious?
I have never prepared
It's
for
so-
a debate in my life, and I'm finally
We
about
know.
to. So now you're in trouble. 'Cause I'm gonna have research now, motherfuckers.
So as you can see, okay, so let me go back to it.
See that?
So as you can see, I just put it in the chat, everybody. So you have the if you want to go through it. So it goes through Twitch aims to be blah, 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 blah. Twitch does not permit behavior that is motivated by hatred, prejudice, or intolerance, including behavior that promotes or encourages discrimination, denigration. What is that? Denigration?
Denigration is when you denigrating someone is just putting them
Someone down.
You know,
Oh, what I do every time I get
Yeah,
on a
dude.
fucking something I do every time I'm on. Okay. Harassment or violence based on the following protected.
You're not allowed on Twitch now.
Yeah, I look. When I got my second strike, I basically took my account and put it in active because I was like, if I get a third one, I'm gonna be, permanently banned. But now I'm not even gonna take it out of deactivation mode.
Tree, I'm sorry. I just looked it up in Webster's. Denigration is when Jupiter's boss speaks to him.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was so
so
funny. I forgot to laugh.
violence based on the following protected
Exactly.
characteristics based on race, ethnicity, color, national origin, immigration status, religion, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, serious medical condition. So I can't call people crazy, mentally ill anymore. Well, I'm not.
Can we
gonna-
say it about ourselves?
Hey,
Are we allowed to?
Ha!
Are we allowed to say that?
Please understand that this
Would
is.
you like me to summarize this?
Hold on, one more time. One second. Veteran status. We also provide certain protections for age. Details on which bullet supply called out below. Why can't you talk somebody? So you can't say, okay, boomer. We define protective groups as a subset of the population with the shared protection characteristics, blah, 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 blah. And listen, look at this. Promoting, glorifying, threatening, advocating violence or physical harm, posting or uploading, otherwise sharing harmful images or symbols, including symbols of established hate groups and neo-Nazi related imagery. Do you know they consider the Confederate flag? Okay, hold on. We don't need to read no more. They consider the Confederate flag
It also
a hate symbol, but they can show CCP. Hold on a second. guys. Hold on, let me show everybody. But you can show the CCP flag and you can show the North Korea
Hammer
flag.
and sickle.
Yeah, you can
Well,
show the
the New
hammer and
York
sugar,
government
you can do
considers
all
it,
that
yeah.
shit, but the Confederate flag, oh no, that's okay. But these people are mentally ill anyway. This is my thing. This is what I feel, right? And then I'm gonna let everybody get their 2 minutes in. All right, and then we're gonna start with Casagay. So this is how I feel. What I believe that Twitch has done is that they have removed a lot of harmful words that hurt their side, but allow their side to continue to say harmful rhetoric, like calling anybody a white supremacist, calling anyone transphobic, homophobic, sexist, misogynist. They can still weaponize their words and use it to shut your language down, or try to shut your arguments down. But yet still, when they look how that doesn't really faze people on the right, or anyone on the center, or anyone who disagrees with them, they're like, okay, well, you know what? You can't call anyone a boomer. You can't talk against their age. You can't talk them. First of all, when I saw that you can't tease anybody for being a virgin, I laughed because I actually made a video. It was last year on my third channel where I actually basically shamed men who try to give sex advice and they're virgins. And I was like, nobody want to hear sex advice from you fucking virgins. Shut the fuck up and go get some pussy. Nobody gives a fuck what you got to say. You guys are still just jerking it. I was just going off on the fucking video because I said, nobody cares what virgin says. Keep having sex with your sex dolls. I actually do the very thing that they talk against. They say that they can't talk against. I do use incel as a demeaning word and shameful word. I do use virgin that way as well too. Now, sometimes I'll say virgin like, oh, well, if you're a virgin female and you want to hold your virginity until you get married, that's fine, blah, blah, blah. But I should have the right to also use it as a demeaning way. So it's like they're trying to protect their simps. One last thing I want to say. They're trying to protect their simps because that platform is filled with simps. When you look at the audience of Pokemon or Alinity or any of the female booby streamers that basically have all these men throwing money at them, they are fucking simps. And because that was used so much this year, they're like, well, we don't want anyone talking about our audience because they're paying us, so let's not use simp anymore. So that's just, to me, it's that they're trying to protect their audience, who they're catering to, and those of us who do not conform to their ideology or their mentality, they are basically trying to get off the platform, and it's working. So that's what I have to say. What say you? So my question is this going to have a backlash, or is nothing? Do you think this is going to have a backlash because the younger generation, when you tell them they can't say words, they say it more? And I'm sure more people have said simp, virgin, and incel more now than ever before, because Twitch says that come January the 22nd, you can't say the word anymore. So what say you, cats? 2 minutes, by the way, 2 minute open argument, and then we're going to get into the round table. Go ahead.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, so I read the terms of service to the extent that I could before my eyes started to bleed shut, because it's a lot of just vague circular logic. And it also, by the way, restricts your activity off of Twitch. Like, if I understood it correctly,
yes,
things that you say or do that people report you for, even if they happen off of Twitch, you're still liable for that, which is how Sargon lost his Patreon, even though nothing happened on. So, regardless, the first thing that came to my mind when I read the terms of service reminded me of a movie from about 20 years ago. Does anyone remember Pleasantville? You may not. Like, I'm older.
It's the ones like with is it Tobey Maguire?
Tobey Maguire when he was young.
Yeah.
So yeah, he and his sister get sucked into this weird black and white 1950s sitcom universe, and everyone is super like Stepford wise, super pleasant all the time, and then people start becoming colorized when they have intense experiences like sex or shocking imagery, art, and the town founders try to force everyone to go back to black and white as people start becoming colorized by
Oh, I like this
enforcing what
already.
we would now call terms of service. Everyone has to. They have a town meeting. Say everyone has to agree to be polite and pleasant at all times. Don't talk about these things. Don't show these things. No artwork unless it's approved by the committee. And basically they tried to anesthetize their entire population to prevent them from experiencing any kind of intense emotion, to prevent them from becoming overly energized or
Okay, 10
colorized.
seconds.
Like, watch the movie again. It's actually it's funny. It's actually really good though. But yeah, this is an attempt to sanitize something which is not cannot be sanitized. You're trying to disinfect an open wound, which is Twitch.
Okay.
Trying to say that, people are going to be held to higher standards that no one will ever agree to, because you can ban certain
Okay,
words,
wrap
you
it
can
up.
try to make people behave a certain way.
All right.
It's going to be like Spotify with Joe Rogan. Bad idea.
Okay. Next, Rafiq.
It's my turn. Okay, I skimmed the terms of services. Twitch is this one sorry-ass platform with some sorry-ass pathetic weaklings who are banning words that reflect attributes of themselves that they're ashamed of. Instead of creating game plans to resolve them, they ban the words. I mean, I deal with enough weak people real time, and I refuse to deal with them online. I thought the far right was bad to come to terms with being incel simps and virgins. I mean, they make up excuses like it's hard to find a perfect trad wife who accept all their flaws, that they're too lazy to do something about. But these people on Twitch run away from them by banning words. I don't know what's worse. There are two forms of denial on two different spectrums, but they all lead to the same pathetic results with no real resolutions. With the continued denial of the fact that they all hate seeing the incel simps and virgins in the mirror. And what is wrong with being a virgin? I think it's great that someone wants to abstain from sex until marriage, but I guess maybe the left has shunned slut shaming for slut empowerment, that their new shame is virgin shaming. Since the word virgin is banned, I guess there won't be discussions on the numerous films about virginity. 40-Year-Old Virgin ring a bell? There are also films that talk about virginity, like American Pie, Porky's, Fast Times at Richmond High, Biloxi Blues, The Inkwell, Hocus Pocus, etc. As many discussions of the V word would get them banned. Now, perhaps Twitch allows the other V word, vagina. It perfectly reflects the platform because there are a bunch of, as in Josie and or Cardi B's wet ass. That's what they are.
Okay. I will say this. You can use it in a discussion. You just can't use it to demean others or to attack others, or you can't use it, from my understanding, you can't use it as a verbal attack, like, you bunch of simps, y'all giving, just basically use it as a derogatory word or a demeaning word. But if you want to discuss virgins, or
You
if
can't be mean to anyone.
You want to discuss the topic itself.
yeah, if you want to
It's
discuss it in a
That's what you're
nice,
saying.
polite way.
What if you're talking about, like, are you allowed to call yourself those things?
No,
Yeah.
no. They have already had two
No.
Twitch streamers had to change their name because it has simp in it. And there's also a YouTuber who tried to test it out. His name is Kavos. You can check out his video. It was done 3 days ago, where he named himself simp virgin 20 something blah blah blah, and he just logged onto Twitch, and everybody that logged, even Keemstar broadcast his stream, and everybody that came into his stream, he called him a simp and an incel and a virgin. And then Twitch immediately permabanned him and said, we permabanned you because of your name is against our term of service. And his name was Simp Virgin 88.
Wow.
It sounds like he was also directing it towards other people, though.
Yeah, but the message that he
against the rules.
but the permaban message was because of
Oh,
his
what
name.
they said it was for?
Yeah.
But it's so ironic.
But
one
you
of the
can't
best ways for simps for
You can't the terms of service does not go into effect until January 22nd.
Oh, that's
But
interesting.
Tree, one of the best ways for simps and virgins to get laid is being funny, making
Feminism.
fun of themselves. Being funny is one of the best ways for non-physical men to get laid.
I thought it was
So-
pretending to be a feminist.
Okay,
Yeah, well,
hold
that's
on,
more
hold
for
on.
rape.
Before we started doing the tape, hold on. Go ahead, Jupiter. Go ahead with your 2 minute. 2 minute.
Ruin that joke.
You guys are
it's me?
crazy. Yeah, you got your 2 minutes now.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Okay. This is all about. See, it's funny the contrast. It's this bully culture shit where the internet has realized in America that it's much easier and you can mitigate liability by just saying we're not going to allow anything mean to get into anyone's precious ears, and therefore we'll never have to pay legal fees and we don't have to deal with this stuff. Do you know what the Chinese Communist Party did when TikTok people were like, there's racist stuff, there's anti-Semitic stuff, there's homophobic stuff? They said, and these people were complaining about it. China goes, okay, well, we're going to remove you from the platform so you're not offended. Bye.
Oh,
Funny.
that's awesome.
That's true. And it's funny. It's hilarious. The one thing they've ever done right. Oh, God. Maybe go from 6 to midnight. I love that. But what they're doing to our men and women, our young people, it's a type of watered down masculinity, femininity to where you are never going to get bullied, which sometimes a little bit of bullying can be healthy. A little bit of social correction is very healthy. But what they're doing to our youth is you're never going to hear a bad word. And God forbid if you do, you go tell mommy, which is the government, TikTok, Twitter, and mommy and the teacher will sweep away the bad men. And the result of that is, well, my generation is bad enough. God help us when this fucking babied ass generation comes about. Ugh.
Okay. All right. Next we have Trip. Trip, go ahead. Your turn. 2 minutes.
So I used to be a pretty hardcore, like, call out type of leftist back when I was like high school and early college. Like getting properly offended at words. That was me. I like to do that. It was like a mark of like pride if I could like correct people. And I'm like embarrassed looking back now that I was ever like that, because I wouldn't say I've done a full 180, but like, man, was I wrong about that? And I feel bad because like I told like my friends even like to change the things they were saying because it was harmful to people who weren't even there. And I don't know, I've changed a little bit. I had some experiences where I got out and saw the world. I've been around and I've seen some interesting situations, been in some interesting situations where it makes you appreciate things a little differently. And I changed my mind about that just generally because I didn't fit in the way that I thought the world should work anymore. And I think what Twitch is doing is they're listening to people who do that a lot. They're listening to a small minority of very vocal, upset people with not a lot of direction in their life. And it's interesting you mentioned that the terms of service are quite loose and vague. They want it to be like that. It's designed like that on purpose so they can ban anyone for anything and cover their own asses. It's just like the governors who go out and all these people who go out and they're like, stay inside and wear your mask and do this. And then they go out and they break their own rules. They're washing their hands like Pontius Pilate, rules for thee, but not for me. And then
Okay,
they can
10
say,
seconds.
look, I told you the right thing to do. And if I tell you the right thing to do, then I can't be blamed when the wrong thing happens. And that's what Twitch is doing by saying, these are the rules. Kick anyone off. Don't blame us.
All right. Next, Grimace, your turn. Grimace, your mic is muted.
Sorry, thank you. Yeah, my dogs are barking. You guys convinced me to take the opposite argument of what I was going to make here. So I guess here we go. There was a time probably like 5 years ago now that Reddit banned a couple subreddits. They banned, I think, this is when I was like really big free speech advocate who didn't really understand the full meaning of it as like it has everything relating to the government. And I guess culturally you can make that argument. but they banned a subreddit called Fat People Logic. And I was like, why would you ban this? Just because we're making fun of fat people? Like, fat people need to be made fun of, right? Because at the time I was fat, I'm like, I'm fat right now. But and I remember saying, I'm going to leave Reddit and I'm going to go to this new site called Vote. VOAT. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's probably still around. It used the same Reddit template, but they were like, we're not going to censor anybody. And I went to hang out on that site a little bit, see the submissions, and I realized that this site is just filled with trolls. They're just filled with our fat people logic, who are just the most worthless, nonsensical, waste of times, like brain rotting people who have the worst conversations possible. And I realized that if Reddit is trying to like foster a community and conversation, and they're trying to foster like good faith communities, they had to make a move like this, because these people were like spreading out into all the other subreddits and like causing chaos and misinformation and muddying up the conversations with insults and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I came to the realization that Reddit wants to foster good conversations. They're not doing a good job right now. That's why I moved on to Hacker News. But at the time, they really wanted to get this kind of conversation off their platform, which is almost impossible to completely do, but it is possible to mitigate it and make it less.
Okay, 10 seconds.
So when I think about Twitch, so when I think about Twitch, I think of they're trying to foster good communities of mostly gamers, and I guess like female streamers, like relating to games, that they can sell to advertisers, that they can say that, you know, these are good communities. Like, see how they interact with their chat. You see how easy it'll be able to sell these products. You see how like not negative this is, and yeah, I agree with that. They're a private company.
Okay. All right. Next, Joe, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Grimace here. It's a private company. They can do whatever the fuck they want. Now, my biggest concern here is that is there going to be backlash? Like, none of us can sit here and act like there's going to be backlash. There's going to be shit. People are going to wait a month. They're going to be a little sad like they are right now. They're going to fucking forget about it. It's the same fucking shit. At the end of the day, we know that YouTube is a better platform for any type of speech that you want to express yourself. And if you really want to do the game on Twitch, that's fine, but you're going to have to adhere to this nonsense. Now, I will say this, that it's not going to affect the big streamers. There's multiple examples of large streamers who can do whatever the fuck they want, and no one's going to give a shit. Maybe they'll get a slap on the wrist with a 2-weeker, or maybe like a second offense. They're protected by the advertisements. Now, it's going to affect streamers like me, where I'm floating in like the 1K, 2K range of follower base. I average about like 75 viewers. It's going to affect me because we know that there's these fucking like little simps and incels just waiting, jerking their cocks, trying to wait for the time that I say the N-word and send it with the ER. They're just waiting for me to fucking slip. And at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to slip, and they can go fuck themselves. That's all I got.
All right.
Joe Lewis.
I actually
allowed to say no gays allowed.
Sorry, what?
If it's leftists always say, you know, it's a private company, when any other time they don't. But let me ask you this. Can Twitch ban
wait,
gays
no,
or
wait.
Jews or
We're
blacks?
not at we're not at the
We'll get to
discussion
that.
yet. We're not at discussion yet.
can?
Jupiter! We're not at the discussion yet. Okay, listen.
How do you even know that was me that said that?
Because you interrupted him. Okay, I'm trying to debate whether I want to send you guys this, because it's kind of like it shows some private parts of a woman, but it's on Twitter's time. It's on Twitch timeline, right under where they give specific on the R word. And there's a female streamer named Misbehaving, and she bends over and she actually shows all of her
Casserole.
everything. And she got a
She
3.
shows the whole casserole.
She getting money for this?
She no,
Nude?
Everything.
She's getting money for this?
if you want me to, you know what? I can't put it in. It's allowed.
but
It's I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it in
She's getting
Discord.
money for this.
I'm gonna put it in the Discord.
Yeah, drop the link for research.
I'm gonna
purposes.
put the link in the chat, in the Discord chat. But she only got a 3-day
I'm on a
ban.
work
So what
no.
Joe said was true. It doesn't affect big streamers, because what she did should have been permaban. But He's right. It's not going to affect those big streamers. And let me go get the link for you, and then let Phalix go ahead. You last but not least, and then we can get you guys to do the discussion. But let me go ahead and get that link for you guys. Go ahead, Phalix. 2 minutes.
Actually, I was on Twitter earlier today, and I saw that chick you're talking about. She got banned for like 3 days and like 20 some hours. I think they had it like to the second, and I'm like, wow, that's some Twitch popularity privilege right there.
Yeah.
The simp countdown.
Yeah.
Alex, wasn't that a while ago?
What?
You might say
while
it's a
ago?
symptom.
No, it
of
just
the
y'all
disease.
stop. Listen, because y'all stop interrupting his 2 minutes. Now I gotta reset it. Okay, and no, it wasn't a while ago. It happened it happened a couple of days ago. Go ahead.
It was like literally.
Go ahead.
It's like
Go
within
ahead.
the week.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I gotta restart your time again.
There's this little thing in life called perspective, and while you guys, well, not all of you guys, but broad generalization here for a second, you guys may see it as Twitch censoring words because people don't want to get offended. I'm gonna like kind of echo a little bit what Grimace said and say it's them trying to find a way to get rid of ad hom so actual discussion can happen, because there are a ton of people who will just shut down conversation by saying, oh, you're a fucking simp, oh, you're a fucking virgin, oh, you're an incel, instead of actually debunking their points. So I see it as more as that. Now, Twitch is a private company. They are allowed to do whatever they want. Whether that pans out for them in the long run, we'll see, but they can do what they want. I mean, YouTube is better, and the only reason why people go to watch people like Pokimane is because her assets are out. So, yeah, that's about it.
I'm sorry, guys. Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. It looked. Did they
Trigger the
I think they, because I had the tweet and it looks like they may have deleted it because, wait a minute, I thought they was allowed porn on Twitter. I mean, on Twitter.
There is hardcore pornography all over Twitter,
All
and
over
they're trying to get rid of these words. It's
all
ridiculous.
Over. It's not just hardcore. Some of it is, and I know I'm going to get shit from the chat or somebody for this, but some of this animated stuff, it looks like 6 or 7 year old children that are having sex, and I'm sorry, but like, and that's
Whoa,
it's
wait
called,
a minute. Look, man, I've been
don't defend 6-year-old animated porn.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Jupiter. Where are you going on Twitter to find this type of shit,
okay.
dude? Like, what?
Okay,
I'm just saying, my Twitter's pretty fucking
clean.
Okay, Joe.
If I, as a gay man,
I guess
can
you
find
showed
it,
me, Joe.
Trust me, you can find it.
Hey, look, man, that's why you
fucking
gotta
children.
delete the history.
not-
You gotta delete the history. You don't know who's
It-
watching your computer
it's
when you're
not
not there.
hard to
man.
Okay, all right. Next. Anyway, as I was saying, there's stuff that, like, in my opinion, it's not technically pedophilia because it's animated, but the point is, that's not just hardcore. That's fucked in a different type of way.
Like, where do you
I'm
draw
not
the
allowed to-
line?
but
you know?
right, and I'm not allowed to misgender somebody.
Yeah, they draw the line at these words, but they don't draw the line at that. And it's confusing.
That kind of porn can't be on Twitch, right? Are we talking about Twitch or Twitter?
Hold
We
on,
are,
hold on.
but I'm just talking about platforms.
I got the
that have
link.
rules.
I want to give Laura, thank you so much, because I'm looking for it and I couldn't find it and I found it and here it is. All right, there you go. Thank you so much, Laura, for giving
Tree,
me that
I'm wondering.
link. There you go.
We're not streaming on Twitch, are we?
No. Oh, no.
What are we streaming on right now?
We're on Facebook, we're on D Live, and we are on YouTube. No, dude, I decided not to put my panels on Twitch anymore. I can't do it no more.
Right. Yeah. Smart move.
Yeah.
Trip.
show
I
my
can't.
alcohol.
I can't drink and smoke if we're on.
Did you guys see the
That's
link? Did you guys go to?
Oh God. Yes.
3 days.
Yes.
Did you see that? That was
That's
3
an
days.
accident. That's an accident.
That is not no accident. She did that on purpose. You see, she moved her little thing and she spread herself. That's
Wait, I haven't seen it.
That is
Hold on.
3 days and
I'll be
20.
the- Ooh.
20.
So wait, so Twitch
Listen,
is
It looks like an accident. It looks like an accident.
That is
I can't be the
Okay.
only person.
Hold on, hold on.
who's dick printed
Those
to
of
get
you-
some more viewers.
Those of you who are
She
who are
didn't
watching
want
this, they're being sarcastic with the whole accident. If you get a chance to see the link, this woman is bent herself over, pulled over her G-string, and spread her private parts in front of the camera.
Wait, does
It
she
looks
get money
like
for
an
this?
accident.
On Twitch?
Yeah.
Does she get money
Right.
for this on Twitch?
But,
Yeah.
you know,
What? So Twitch is OnlyFans now.
Yeah,
So
that's
Twitch
what
is
I was-
becoming
my
OnlyFans.
word.
Twitch has always been OnlyFans, and you know what? They actually did a thing where they banned. This is what when I asked Falix, was this a while ago? They did this thing where you weren't allowed to show cleavage, and you weren't allowed.
No,
to
you can
show
show
like,
cleavage
midriff
now.
and shit like that.
They changed
And
it.
you can do that now again because it really is now just like OnlyFans Lite. It's a place where simps, sorry, excuse the vernacular, but
Well, this
it's
is
a place where
YouTube. We can say
kids
it.
go. Right, but it's a place where these people go to fall in love with people like Pokemon and Pokemon, however you pronounce it. Pokemon is
It's
how
Pokemon.
my grandmother pronounced Pokemon, but it's a place
It's
for fucking simps to go.
Pokemon.
Pokemon, a Gucci man.
Hold on,
Trust
hold on.
me.
you
No,
got to
but-
remember though, this is their brand. Like this is how they brand themselves with the the perky cleavage and whatever. That's all they
Trip,
got.
Would you
And then-
want if
and
you had
damn
a
that-
9-year-old son? Would you want him to see something like this on Twitch? Are you serious?
Hell no. I'm not
That
defending
was
it. I'm
very-
saying it's
that
like
was
it's kind of a
very-
scuzzy thing to do.
Well, yeah, but obviously they're
I have a
condoning it. The
perspective
fact that
about
she got a
this.
3. Listen, I said nigger by accident.
They-
You know what I'm saying? And I got a 7-day suspension. She gets to show.
Cat says that
Oh.
all the time. Cat says that all the time.
Oh, wait a minute.
I do not.
What I'm saying is like that's all. That's their
I
money.
have
my
never
God.
said that word. Actually,
I'm saying
I
that's how
have
they make
never
their money,
said
right?
Oh, Rafik is
they-
just now
that's
seeing it.
all they can do.
Well, I played that. I was like, she just showed it all.
Twitch makes more money when the
I-
when the people on the platform make money, right? So of course they're gonna unban the things that are lucrative for them that
Trip,
people
that-
actually like.
Come on,
But-
Trip. Are you serious? We're talking about that's right there. It's X-rated. What she just did.
No,
What
no,
she
I'm
just
not.
did.
I'm not defending this. I'm defending them saying like, oh, it's okay to show cleavage again. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not defending it. I'm saying that's why they did that. It's a good business move. This though, the different rules for different people. If you're affiliated or whatever, I don't know how it works on Twitch. That's I don't know. I get it. It's a business move. I don't think it's right. It's not fair. But like Joe and I think Grimace said, like they are a private company. They can do what they want. And people may or may not leave. Depends
it
if they have the
possible,
monopoly on the industry, which it looks like they do.
Joe and Grimace, is it possible that you all, it's easy for you guys to say it's a private business because this doesn't really affect you. But let's say, for instance, if you supporting Biden or if you supporting Bernie or in Grimace case, him supporting I'm not gonna say her I'm sorry, Pocahontas, but
Oh, are you talking about Elizabeth Warren?
Elizabeth, I can't remember her name, so only name I can remember is Pocahontas. Well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to disrespect your candidate, Elizabeth Warren. The fact that you know, what if that was bannable? You don't see that there's a little. You would not be so quick. Or let me ask you. I'm assuming. Would you be quick to say it's a private company?
Yeah, actually, because if Twitch wants to ban politics, they can do that as long as they like apply it in like a reasonable way. I don't think I have a problem with it. For instance,
Wait a minute. Look what you just said. If they
reasonable
apply,
way.
there you go. There you say if they apply it in a reasonable way. And what if they do it in an unreasonable way?
Grimace is actually pretty fair about this shit, though.
Yeah,
You agree, though?
No, he's not, because
Gotta be
he said if they apply it in a reasonable way. That's subjective. Right now, I don't think they're applying anything in a reasonable way.
No, this is exactly what I'm saying. If they do it properly, like I'll have no problems with it. If they just comes out like showing favoritism to one side or another, or towards like people like bigger streamers are allowed to do politics but smaller streamers aren't, then that would be kind of like
There is favoritism.
That would be pretty fucked. But like,
Isn't there favoritism?
Yes.
yeah, but as long as there's obviously going to be some, but as long as there's not any blatant, and you can at least think that the people are good faith when they're doing things like this. You have to like understand there's going to be some like fuck ups, right? Because it's like a large portion of people just trying to get it right. But like in my case, I'm on Hacker News right now, getting all my information for it, and they go through periods of banning politics as soon as politics starts getting out of control. And I appreciate that. If I want to go to the circle jerk somewhere else, I'll go there. But then when I want to not be surrounded with that, at least I have a place that I can go, a community I can go and be a part of. And instead, yeah.
Joe, what about you?
I'd like to say something about this.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
you're saying.
After Joe, and then I'm gonna get Cats. Go ahead. So Cats, go after Joe. Joe, I'm sorry.
You're talking about like if I were to get banned or suspended because I supported Joe Biden.
Well, let's say,
shit?
for instance,
What you were talking about.
Oh, no. I have a good one for Joe. Joe. Joe, what if it's bannable to support Black unity, Black nationalism? What if it's bannable to support anything that highlights the I hate the word oppression because I don't agree with it, but for the sake of this argument, the oppression of Blacks on a platform. What would you feel about that?
I mean, it's a private business. They can do what they want, but my nigga, I'll see you in court because it goes directly against the harassment policy because in their same fucking bullshit, I'm going to just read it verbatim, right? The calls for segregation, exclusion that includes political, it's already in their terms of service. So if they were to do something like that, right? So say like you can't talk about Black unity, Black nationalism, what have you, that's totally fine, but they better lawyer the fuck up because then you're going to get the Umars knocking on your fucking door.
That's
and you see
not
that
true. Section 230. Section 230 gives them a complete immunity because they're not a publisher. That's not true at all. They have absolute
race is a protected class. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
is
government
white
can
a
step in.
protected class?
No, but hear me
No.
out. But this is where they fucked up. Jupiter, because you maybe there's some truth there. But remember, it's in their own terms of service about things that streamers can and cannot do. So if they go out and do something that's exclusatory, it literally fucks up their terms of service. So it's either they have to shadow remove that and then do that. But even then, we're having this conversation now, so we can retroactively look back and go, "Oh, this shit already exists." So if they were to do that, that'd be
Twitter, Twitch.
Hold on.
White hatred
Jupiter, I want Cats to go next. Go ahead, Cats.
Okay.
yeah.
Fine.
Cats, go ahead.
I will say this, which is a little bit different than what I thank you. This is a little different than what everyone else is saying. In terms of the terms of service on Twitch, and this could apply to Twitter, Reddit, anywhere else. I believe that the reason that these will always fail, it's not because of hypocrisy or freedom of speech issues. It's because it's trying to make the internet into something which it will never be and it can never be, which is a nice place. People on the internet are nasty. It's not anything to do with where you live, how you were raised. It's a psychological phenomenon based on anonymity or even pseudonymity, like people that just use avatars, like, or even just like the same phenomena as road rage. When you're separated from other people, whether it be by a webcam, a keyboard, or another car, people are more likely to go off the handle. Trying to make people behave on the internet is a lot like trying to remove water hyacinth from the water. Yeah, you can go on a big campaign. You can fill the rivers full of chemicals. You can trowel the whole area. You'll never get rid of it all, though, because all it takes is a little bit here, a little bit there, and it's going to pop up again. I feel like as long as we can't accept the fact that the internet is a nasty place with some nasty people in it, there are always going to be people who are going to be offended. I feel like we have to accept the fact that there will always be nasty people and there will always be thin-skinned bitches that will be upset about everything.
Hold on, Cats. I gotta push back on that, my friend. Like, I think you're missing a very key point here. The internet's an amazing place. The internet will prop you up. Like, listen, you could break both your legs right now.
It will tear you down.
No, but that's exactly right. You could break both your legs. You can get all your medical bills done in like maybe 2 hours. But that same group. Right, but that same group but my point here is that same group of people who will prop you up and contribute to your GoFundMe will call me a nigger. So those two things can exist on the internet.
Get the fuck out of here with it. What is that?
My point here is
bullshit.
Yeah, no,
For
there's no
every
bullshit here.
positive
What?
story
Why
on
did
the
that have to-
every
Yeah,
positive
go work out.
for every positive story on the internet, for every time that some child with cerebral palsy was able to get his medical bills paid, there are 100 other GoFundMes that are completely ignored because, by and large, when good things happen, it's rare. That's why it's good.
Right.
The
I agree
shit
with that.
is everywhere.
No,
The
wait,
internet
hold
is
on.
just a reflection of human
Hold
nature.
on.
Wait, but we should be
No,
at
wait,
least
hold on.
trying to clean up the shit, right?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
You can try, but if you get mad at people for being people, then you're just going to be constantly disappointed. You cannot. It's like trying to stop people from rubbernecking on the freeway. Yeah, you can make a bill to make it illegal for people to stop, like not be allowed to look and say, "Ooh, look at that accident." Won't stop though. It's basic human nature.
oh, wait, hold on.
You can't-
Joe, you.
I'm not saying it's a good thing,
Hold
but
on,
you
hold
can't
on,
be
hold on,
shocked by it.
Cats. You brought up number one. You keep bringing up this. Someone's gonna call me the N-word. People called me a kike.
I said it once.
Cats. No, actually, it was in your intro. Just so, by the way. But Cats
thought
and
it
I's
was. Well,
podcast is called Caggit. If you put those two words together, they're literally the slurs that people use against us most.
Sure.
No one's trying to hear that shit. My point is, this private company thing from the left is getting really tiresome. For the last 5 decades, the only people who have had any problem with exclusionary tactics from private businesses have been the left. When a Christian bakery will not make a gay marriage cake, when all of these things, it's always the left. And now all of a sudden that you control everything, it's but a private company. Let me say two things.
Sure.
Number one, Google, China, Apple, these people run every single part of the public town square, which is the internet. So it's no longer a private company. It's a monopoly. And they have absolutely we have no legal recourse to attack them. Number two, and this is the big one. If you really believe in the private company, Bernie people that when Biden was up for the nomination, the Bernie people that were calling for this purging of bad speech and misinformation started to see their Twitter accounts get blown away by the establishment, and they regretted it. I'm going to give you a warning. They'll come for you next. Yes, they're purging the right, and you like it right now. They will come for you next.
Hold on. I mean, did I suggest anywhere that they weren't coming for me already? Tree knows this. Tree knows Twitch isn't safe for black people. Like, it's been the fucking just like theme of that fucking platform. They're waiting for black people to fuck up.
What do you mean by that?
So in practice,
Remove
what
all
happens is
politics. They don't care what color you are. They just
Well,
care about whether
it
it's
seems to be-
controversial
it seems to
for
be-
advertisers.
well, let's put it this way, right? There's only
I'm
when
the
Destiny
wrong
ran
type of
into
black on that
confrontation
platform.
with Nina. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's something to that too. Like, they suppress black conservatism, and that's fucked because it doesn't matter what type of your ideology is. Like, you should be able to speak your fucking truth on a platform. But with that being said, like, they're very hard on black streamers. Like, Nina got suspended for 2 weeks on Twitch. She didn't even have a Twitch channel. She was just a chatter, and all she did was on a panel and pushed back on Destiny and called him a white piece of shit. But yet somehow she gets banned for 2 weeks. Like,
Was
that's
it
all
Only
it
because
one
was
group
wrong.
of people that can
because she was
actually survive
doing
on
targeted
Twitch, and that
racism?
is big-breasted white women.
Hold
Sorry,
on, hold on
what?
though. You're saying
What? Hold on.
you're
I
saying that
heard.
like that she got banned because of targeted racism, right? Not because she's black.
No, but I'm saying in the equivalent circumstance, like, why would you ban somebody? Why would you ban a chatter for 2 weeks? That's my gripe of it. Like, sure, she was on a panel.
But you
then
said it was because she was black. I was wondering why
No,
is
I'm
it
saying
more difficult for black
it seems that
people on
there's a very
Twitch?
particular group of people that's
So
continuing to
black
get banned from
people are
Twitch.
by far the most protected group on the internet. I see countless
Not on
threads
Twitch.
about how white people need to be eradicated, breed out your white grandparents.
Not on Twitch.
It's literally everywhere on Twitter. Maybe not on Twitch,
I've
but I'm
never
saying
seen this.
Right, we're talking about Twitch here, right?
premise. I can.
Well,
Hold
hold on.
People
Wait.
get called a cracker, all this stuff. But if you say the
Quarantine.
reverse,
I'm sorry. I haven't been on there in a long time. So, isn't Quarantine still on Twitch?
No, he doesn't have the he streams through Resistance Noir, but even during that situation, I think I remember it was with Relevant. I don't know if you know.
Yeah,
who
that's
that
what I'm
is.
saying. It was
like that whole yeah. Well, they got banned for 2 weeks also. So they got banned for, I think they're on strike 2 now
What?
at this point. Yeah, a lot went down since you've been gone.
Oh my God, I gotta get caught up.
Our Relevant and Uncle Tom. I remember that.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
One
And
will
then
be allowed.
Mike
I
from
didn't know
PA.
he got
And
in
then Mike
trouble.
from
I didn't know he
PA.
got in trouble for that.
Yeah, and then Mike from PA, that fucking piece of shit, made this fucking headhunter for at one like, look, man, like he's back from Twitch and that is what it is. But you shouldn't have a clip of like praising Irrelevant and shitting on Irrelevant. Like you got to pick a side on that. It's really bizarre.
I've never
how they
seen him
handled
praise
my
our
content
relevant.
for
He's
you.
always talked.
Again-
As a matter of fact, he showed an Urkel thing and said, "Is that our relevant there?" You know, dancing at a Bernie thing. No, I've never seen Mike from PA praise irrelevant. I've always seen him shit on
It's
him.
weird. And yeah, and then just recently we had a streamer, his name is J100, and he ran into some shit. He's permabanned. And I still have no idea why he was. He talked about, there was a streamer, he talked about non-ethnic European Jews and like the historical context of that. People thought it was anti-Semitic. He got banned. He came back, and on like the week that he came back, he got hit with something else. I don't even know what he got hit for. And then just recently, I just found out, because him and I got into contact with each other, that he got his third strike again in December. And I kept asking him, like, yo, bro, like, what the fuck are you doing to get banned on Twitch? Like, you just fucking showing just like raw nipple titties or some shit?
Is this entire debate going to be on your victimhood?
That wasn't him. That wasn't him. That wasn't.
Black victimization
Seems like the
online.
opposite now.
It's the opposite. No, it's the opposite. White people
Why was it really
are
conservative
by far-
victimhood on
I
platforms
get called,
like this?
I get called a cracker and all this white shit constantly
Yeah.
online. But if I said the opposite, I'd be banned faster than ever. So can we move on?
I mean, we could try
thing
it.
is-
I mean,
it's boring.
we could try it. We could both try it.
I'll bet you $1,000.
A thousand.
My mother.
Right now,
$1,000.
right now.
$1,000.
$1K?
Here's the bet.
No,
1K? Hard ass. What's your
no betting,
No,
no
here we go.
betting,
Let's make it
no,
interesting.
but you,
no,
you
we're
got
betting, no,
here.
no betting.
Wait, let's hear the terms. Let's hear
No,
the terms.
there is no betting on my show. No betting.
You call me a cracker on Twitter, and I'll do the reverse, and let's see who gets banned.
The reverse. The fact that you can say the reverse
not
shows
do
the
this?
problem.
Right,
What's
it
going
shows
on?
you that I
on right now,
Okay.
man?
Let me solve this argument. If you call him a nigger and he calls you a cracker, you get banned for calling him a nigger. For saying nigger. That's just all it is.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you. It's
'Cause
all
I-
it is. That's all I'm saying.
But
So
we already know how that goes though. We already know that goes that way.
But again, like if I go the anti-Semitic route, then we might. Have
Oh,
to equal
okay,
footing,
well,
'cause Twitch,
okay, that's
'cause Twitch
true,
is
that's
incredibly
true.
sensitive when it
That's
comes
true.
to Jewish people. We
If
know
you- yeah,
this.
Actually, that's true.
Black Trump Jew.
If you call him a kike and he call you a
That's
nigger,
true.
I don't
So,
know
I
who's gonna
mean-
get banned first.
If he calls me a kike, he'll have the ACLU, the ADL. Liberal Jews are the most insufferable, horrible people on the planet, and yeah, no doubt. But let's stop with the whole black oppression on Twitch and Twitter thing. Let me tell you something. It's non-existent. It's a protected class. White isn't. So why are we talking about it?
But I'm telling you, black
Race is a
streamers
protected
have been
class.
getting banned. Like I'm telling
But
you,
is it
black
because
streamers
they're
are getting
black?
banned.
Is it because they're
there's
black?
There's no indication as to why, but it
So
seems
why are we
very
talking about it?
bizarre.
So why are we?
It seems very
They're
bizarre.
conservative, right?
Particular-
Go ahead,
I have an explanation.
Cass.
go
Cass,
for
go
it.
ahead. Go ahead, Cass.
It's
go for
because
it.
it's because we have seen this again and again. There are many commentary channels that have been following Twitch's hypocrisy when it comes to thought that will not get banned for blatantly breaking the service. Literally, like some of these thoughts have exposed emails inadvertently, or other people have, where it literally boils down to, does Twitch like you? Do you have friends at Twitch? There's no standard here. The terms of service are vague on purpose. It's literally, do people at Twitch like you? Do they not like you? If they like you online, no one cares. If they don't like you, then they're going to get rid of you for any reason whatsoever. Because, like, whether it's because they don't like you, whether it's because you did something that embarrassed them, whether it's because you did something that could cost them money, it has nothing to do with any of the things that we're talking about. It's whether or not the company likes you.
Kat, you think that
Sounds like a
do you think it ought
Sounds
to be
like
that
a
way?
click.
Well,
It's very much a click.
It is a click.
All big tech is like that.
Oh, it totally is.
There are a bunch of
Totally is.
that are, if you go to their coffee club, if you're part of their yoga group, like, then they love you. Or if you're someone that in their yoga group they like. But if someone in their yoga group doesn't like you, if you don't drink the same flavor of latte as they do, well, then expect
but
your
why is
channel to
that?
get banned.
But why is that? It's because they
feel like
listen
they can.
to these.
They think they have a duty to do it.
Yeah, but it's also they're trying to do a smart business decision, and their smart business decision is based on 30 people all on the same day saying you need to remove this user because they hurt my feelings. And when it's 30 people, it seems like a lot all at once, right? It could actually just be, maybe it's 1,000 people don't like whoever it is. I'm sure a lot of people don't like me. I'm sure a lot of people don't like. Yeah, but
30
here's the thing,
people
though.
out of how many people watched the
Yeah,
thing?
but I think you're giving them too much credit.
No,
I don't
what
think
I'm
it has
saying
anything
is
to
this
do
is
with
why
business.
this is mainly why they
Sometimes
do
it
it. They
does.
have their political leanings, obviously, and they're going to ban people based on that. But at the same time, like a lot of the time, these rules are implemented, like Virgin, Simp, all this stuff. Like I remember maybe 2-3 months ago, somebody I know was on a stream. They were doing commentary for gaming, and he called another person on the stream Virgin, and then the next day Twitter lost their shit, completely lost their shit. They didn't know these two guys were friends, and actually like talked about it after and said sorry and whatever. But first of all, why are you going to get offended at that? Second of all, everyone blew up on Twitter about it the next day. Like the whole community was talking about it. It's so stupid because it's so insignificant. But those are the things that get noticed. Those are the things that Twitter decides, oh, everyone's pissed off. Let's make this rule now. That's all I'm saying.
I said
Yes, but
KYS,
Twitter-
as in kill yourself, to a very dear friend of mine, someone that Katz and I both know. It wasn't truthful.
Are you
I
not
was
allowed to
just-
say that?
No,
serious.
and I got my
Oh, you're
whole
not,
account
no.
nerfed. My entire account got taken down.
Where?
On
Twitch?
Twitter?
Twitch?
Twitter.
Yeah.
At Child of Soul.
Oh
Twitter
well,
and
you can't
whatever.
even say retard on Twitter and get in. Oh, I got permaban.
But
for,
you can have active.
I
Like,
got
threats of
permaban for
violence
calling.
against people.
I got permaban for calling David
there's
Duke a
no
racist grandpa
standards.
for ageism. And all I did was call him.
Racist
It's whatever the
Yeah.
one
No, I got
random thing is,
permaban.
and
I
if one
called
random person
David Duke.
notices it.
David Duke a racist grandpa. Ageism.
And he
Ageism.
is racist. And
Wait,
he's a
but
grandfather.
that's
He
a
is-
true statement.
He
though.
is
That's
a
statement.
he's a literal grandfather. His children has
Does he have
children.
grandkids?
Yes, he has 3 grandchildren.
Problem with a lot of this.
But-
The
but-
problem with a lot of this is that the terms of service are being enforced by bots that do not have
Here's my
any
question.
context to
Yeah.
understand.
I want to direct this. I want to direct this also to Grimace and Joel. Do you not see that when you tell little children that they can't say something that makes them want to say it even more? So do you not see that this having an adverse reaction, adverse effect in what Twitch is aiming for?
It
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
depends. Oh, go for it.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for the most part, but like, I don't want to interact with children. I want to like interact with adults who know that their words like mean shit. Like, yeah, kid, like the whole fact we make words taboo in general gives them power. That's why the N word right now is so powerful, because literally people are not allowed to say it at all. But at the same time, I understand that if you're a company like Twitch, the need to grow like successful communities that we can all be proud of, and we can all like join and have like positive interactions with each other, and that in general would make the platform better if they could do it correctly.
Yeah,
It sounds like they're trying to have an echo chamber, not a community.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of disagreeing on that.
For politics, I agree, but like this kind of this harassment thing isn't really that targeted towards politics as much. It's more like those big female streamers who have like a lot of, I guess, simps and incels in their chats, that they're insulting each other a lot, and it's making these communities like really toxic, and that's kind of why they're trying to focus on it. But at least that's what I understand.
Yeah, and I get the idea where like you want to keep advertisers friendly, and this is kind of where I struggle with a lot of this, right? Is because you want companies to survive, and when you want to survive, you need advertisers. And sometimes it seems like Twitch is taking this weird hands-on but hands-off approach and sort of tackling these problems. And Kat, I think, is knocking kind of at the door that I'm kind of struggling with, where it's like we want to do you want to be a platform where people can freely express their ideas, or do you want to be a platform that's catering to a certain audience? And if you want to cater to a certain audience, that's totally fine. But it seems to me that it's when you have like what seems to be people who are like in 6th grade writing these terms of services, we're going to run into these contradictions all the time. Like at the end of the day, if I'm creating a policy for my students, I shouldn't have to make 5,000 revisions on this policy within the same year. You just set the policy and that should be that. But it seems like when they release their policies, it feels like they never like practically like pushed it to its logical conclusions, or like just any type of hypotheticals. Like you shouldn't have to clarify about. What's that?
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no. Yeah, I was just saying that like you shouldn't have to clarify the use of the N-word in a tweet. That seems really weird when you're making a terms of service policy. That part was bananas to me, and I'll give it to Jupiter on that. That was goddamn ridiculous. Like imagine making a terms of use policy and then your team's like, wait, we forgot about the N-word. What? It's like the fuck? Like you remember simp, but you forget the M-word? All right.
They're
guys.
just covering. They're
A lot of these
covering
policies
every
are written
base
by
they can.
people that
What's that?
They're written by people that are in echo chambers in small offices that have very little practical experience, and then they get corrected by the lawyers about a week after they make their insane statement. So that's why you get this ricochet effect of like the PR person says one thing and then the legal team says you can't say that, and then that goes back and forth all over the internet until something vague comes out of it.
But that's the problem that I have with this private company nonsense. I believe in the free market to an extent, but the free market has to be free. Right now, I can count on literally one hand who controls all information coming in and out of every household in this country. And that is not a conservative ideal. It's not a free market ideal. Actually, that goes more to the far left, communist, state-run media side of the political spectrum. But I will say this, if you're going to allow these people to police words like even like the N-word or to call someone kike, if you're going to give, or the F word, frugal, another anti-Semitic remark.
I got
it. At least one thank you. Thank God for Trip in this world. But no, but if you're going to give 5 or less companies all power to say what words are allowed to be spoken, eventually, it's not going to be the N-word. It's not going to be the K word or the F word. It's going to be simp. It's going to be virgin. Then it's going to be anti-government rhetoric. If you give these people enough, no, it's true though.
This was such a leap right there because this is going into personal attacks.
No, it's not at all.
Protect my government.
No. You need to know about this.
So
Jupiter's actually onto something. So there's one thing about the private platform thing. You know, when Twitter becomes the new public square forum, especially during Corona, when no one can go out and like hear someone have a speech or anything like that, then we have to start talking about, you know, private platform. Where does it start? Where does it end? Where does banning, you know, are you allowed to ban people if it's a complete monopoly? But there's also something to be said about something called, you may not have heard of this, but it's called the euphemism treadmill. So has anyone heard of the euphemism treadmill?
No.
So basically how it works is there's one word that's offensive to say. And then that one gets replaced with something else, but then that word becomes offensive, and then it gets replaced with something else. That word becomes offensive. Remember when, I mean, I wasn't alive for it, but like they just used to call kids who had mental disabilities
retards.
They used to just call them slow. Yeah. And then that was a word too. I don't know if we're allowed to even say that on this platform.
Yeah.
And
you can
that
say
was
it.
the next one.
You can't say it on Twitch.
All right.
But
Well,
you can say it here.
Okay. Then after that, it was disabled. And now kids are saying to their friends, like, what are you, disabled? And now that's not okay. So you have to say developmentally challenged, or and that's the euphemism treadmill. All of these keep getting banned because they keep being offensive.
I'm sorry.
It's like we're just going to, yeah, go ahead.
I think we're talking about different cultures here, because the black kids I hear still use retard. And they still use other words.
I'll tell you this too. The gaming community is very not PC. Like they're not about it at all.
Yeah.
There's a small section that are like hardcore leftists, and we let them do their thing. But for the most part, the
Overwatch
gaming
and don't
community
work
is
at Twitch.
not PC at all, and they have to keep it under wraps
Do you
if they
guys
want
not
to do
know
their
that this
thing
is
online.
what happens? Here's a hypothetical. I was gonna wait to the end, but I gotta throw this in here because it's appropriate. What if there was an internet that's the wild, wild west? Anything goes as long as it's not against the law. Okay, no
90s?
doxing, no threats. Yeah, like how 90s Twitter and YouTube used to be. Okay, all right.
Call of Duty gaming.
You could
gaming
do
chat.
all of that,
4chan,
and
8chan,
so
dark web,
you
things like that.
understand
Those
that was going to be
Xbox
more.
Live
That's going to
parties.
be more popular than the clean internet, correct? Or who disagrees? Which internet you
Yeah,
think is
but-
going to be
but-
more
but
popular?
Tree-
The Wild Wild
Tree-
West one or the clean
Tree,
version we have now?
Obviously the Wild Wild West, but the problem is it's getting to a point where the private companies are no longer private. There's 3 of them, and they're never. Once you try to build a platform, they shut you down. They buy you out, or they don't allow you on their platform.
That
to
doesn't happen in the
advertise.
wild. This is
So
when I say the Wild Wild West.
can never happen. Right, but I'm saying we can
Well,
never
no,
get
no,
one.
the Wild Wild West
No,
has
she's
no.
saying if it was possible.
Yeah,
I have an
I-
idea about this
Oh, yeah.
actually.
Hold on. I'm talking
So,
about it. I'm talking about. Hold on, Trip. After I say this, then I'm gonna let you go,
Yeah.
Trip. I'm talking about a hypothetical. The Google, MySpace, and Twitter. They do not. And China, they don't own the internet. They don't own the interweb. It's we still have an internet space where people can still go and not have anything to do with Google. So what? It's not searchable on their engine. Big deal. It still be a pass around link that can be sent through people's emails that's not associated with these big companies. I mean, if it's something that's the dark web, it's still the dark web that has nothing to do with Google, but people still know how to get to it. So I think that I don't think the big companies have anything to do with the Wild Wild West internet section. If there was such a such thing, the polar opposite of what we have, like to have the opposite side of a YouTube, the opposite side of a Twitter, and I'm not talking about Parler either. I'm talking about the opposite side of a Twitch and things like that. Go ahead, Trip. Sorry.
Yeah, I think the Wild Wild West analogy is actually a good one here because Twitter is a very, very clear example of internet vigilante justice and ganging up on people and canceling them. That's exactly what happens. It's kind of like the Wild Wild West, but only a few opinions are actually allowable. And then you have the overlords, policing you, but they really police you heavily if their little minions they don't like you, and they'll all attack at one. Let's say if Tree decided she didn't like somebody on somebody she was beefing with, right? And she said, all my followers go and spam whatever their Twitter is and tell them that they're racist or whatever. That's enough to get someone banned, even temporarily, just so that everyone, the higher ups can look at their content, find out if they're breaking terms of service or anything like that. And these things happen every day.
Wait, there's also terms of service against brigading, is what you just described. You can't.
Yes,
do that.
but I'm saying it happens, and this is why the Wild Wild West analogy is actually interesting. I think the private platform thing, there is something to be said about that. They are allowed to do what they want to do. If there was another place where that wasn't happening, it would still be allowed because it's the Wild Wild West. So then the leftists would just flood on and berate Republicans, on that platform too. I think people would enjoy it for a little bit, like the early 2000s internet, it was anything goes
4chan.
basically. Yeah, there you go. But now it's pretty much over.
Okay.
And if you don't like it, then you don't have to go on those websites.
Exactly, and they would get into the HR department of the Wild
Tree, I
Wild
have
West.
a-
and-
But they're not as big as Twitter.
I
That's the
know.
thing. They'll never be as big as Twitter. That's
Tree, I
my
have a
Nothing
clarifying question. about
Sure.
Hypothetical. if
Yes.
that's cool?
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm struggling with right now, as I'm thinking about it, is that in this Wild Wild West, is there still just like a marketplace though, right? Because
Yeah.
something that I think Parler is struggling with right now is just the availability of sponsors. So in this hypothetical, or like, is it still like the same type of sponsor system that we deal with right now in terms of
Yeah.
advertisers?
Yeah.
Because
Who did I lose? Oh, that was Rafiq. Absolutely.
No, I'm still here.
And believe it or not, I am not pro Parler. I don't trust it. That's another story for another day. But there's a lot of reasons why Parler is not getting sponsors. They could.
Wait, did Did you like see the FBI type in your password, or is there like something else going on there?
I don't trust a platform that needs my. I don't need
Well,
a.
Joe,
I-
Joe,
I-
they make you give your social security number.
They
on
make
Parler
you
to
give your
really-
freaking goddamn.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck them. I'm not. No. And I'm not giving them my fucking pass.
It's a no for me,
That's a
dog.
lot of information.
You can't even give a fake
but-
phone number to get an account with them. So I'm not fucking with Parler. It's something I don't
Tree,
feel
can
right
I-
about
Tree-
it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jupiter.
Can I ask Joe one thing?
Yeah,
Joe,
what's
you
up?
were kind of insinuating that the reason Parler and these types of things, they don't have the advertising. Number one, obviously, even Tucker Carlson, the number one news program ever, actually might be the number one cable news program ever.
No.
But
So, yeah.
Newsmax, baby.
I know, but ever he is the biggest. But what
Yeah.
happens is people boycott the people. They don't boycott, but they attack the advertisers. But if you're telling me that the problem with things like Parler or right-wing groups is that they don't have the advertisement, say what you will about the QAnon crowd. Those people generate more revenue than you could possibly believe. They generate more digital media. There was a New York Times post about it. They, as a group, generated more digital media in 2019 than I think anybody. So it's not an advertising problem. It's not a problem where
advertisers
they
don't
want
want to
to come in.
associated with them. Though.
Right,
Yeah.
Because for a good reason, but not
Right,
because
but that's my
it's
concern.
because
No, like,
advertisers get
I
attacked.
wouldn't support an advertiser who supported QAnon.
But also, it's not a
Why?
free market because people
Why?
attack the
No, no, no,
advertisers.
no.
What if it's something you? What
Because
if
I
it
don't
was
want
like?
people spreading and supporting that.
No.
That's absolutely
So you
nonsense.
mean to sound?
What
Well,
That's like
the day
supporting
that
brain
people
rot for
became
the
more
general
concerned
public.
with what companies stand for politically speaking was the day that society ended, because it became that you can't just go out and buy a mattress now. You have to look out, like, does this mattress do this? Do they build their mattresses here? Everything relates to everything else. That is ending our civilization right now, because you can't do anything unless a company meets a hypothetical infinite list of criteria.
Right.
Like,
but
it's stupid.
my
we
point
can draw a
was,
line
Joe,
at
no, wait,
QAnon.
Grimace,
right,
real
though?
quick. Grimace. Here's my point. No, I'm not going to draw a line at QAnon. What I will say is that I wouldn't even consider looking into whether a company allows something like communism to be spread on their platform or advertised on, which has killed hundreds of millions of people. QAnon has not.
You know
but
what?
I would never even consider looking into their
I gotta
politics.
I gotta reveal this BS. Okay, who here does not? I don't eat at McDonald's. Who here still eat McDonald's? Okay,
I eat
Like
McDonald's
3 times a
sometimes.
year.
Quarter pounder.
okay. I think we.
But
all,
McDonald's owns
No.
Chipotle. They own Subway. They own all these places.
So okay, great. Thank you. That's a good point, Trip. So let's say, for instance, everything that McDonald's own, Chipotle, McDonald's, or anything else they own, if they were to sponsor North Korea, y'all mean to tell me y'all gonna stop eating or buying their business, or buying food that's associated with them? No,
Right.
y'all don't really care about that.
Point.
Do you have
Do you
Apple
guys-
iPhones?
I
You
stopped
say
playing
use slave
Overwatch for
labor.
like a month after they had that whole Hong Kong thing. Okay,
Yeah.
What type of phone do you
it
have?
did nothing.
What type of phone do you have?
I got a new phone recently. It's
Apple.
an Apple.
Is it made by slaves?
Apple iPhone 12.
Is it made by
Max
slaves?
Pro. Very nice.
Is
No,
it made
it's
by
not
slave labor?
If you own
No.
Right.
if you
It's
own a
probably made at a
smartphone,
factory with
it's a good
suicide
chance
net.
slave labor
I
was
got-
involved in
I
it.
got a
Doesn't matter
new
what brand.
one, too.
Proud of it.
Yeah,
but
they're
yeah,
all made
if
by
you think about
slaves.
these things relatively, these people would be like starving out in rice paddies, right? It's just like it's
Little,
one
oh
step up.
God!
Oh my God!
Jesus,
Don't
I
take that
didn't
angle,
realize
dude.
there's so many anti-capitalists on this.
Do not take that angle, bro.
Capitalism.
Listen,
Welding
the last
their
time you
hands
said
together
this,
to
you
make
were
your
trying to make
phone?
the claim that Obama was like targeting American children.
He did, and you
Wait,
still
no,
he
he
did.
didn't. No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he
I'll
didn't.
lock you.
No,
American.
no. You
Google
can literally look at the
Al-Awlaki.
report.
You know what- you know what it says in the report?
was
You know what it says in the
sitting
report?
with.
Oh, all right. So, like, oh my God, I can't even
the
remember.
report was a lie. Okay, never mind.
No,
If
no,
you're
no,
gonna
no,
get-
The
no.
CIA's
no.
a liar. John Brennan was the fucking CIA director.
So
at the
why do
time,
you
and
believe
yes,
any of it?
He lied in front of goddamn Congress.
Why do you
because-
believe any of it?
I can't remember who it was, but it was someone in the cabinet.
Okay, we're
when
gonna.
it happened.
Y'all
They
got
were
5
asked
minutes,
about
and then we're gonna go to
they
the
said,
next
"Why did he
topic.
die?" And
I
they
mean,
said
then we're gonna go to closing the argument. So
he
get it out of your
said he
system.
should have had a better father. He should have had a better father. Why? Well, his dad
Yeah,
was
because
a
his father was
terrorist.
friends with the guy that they targeted, right? And after
His
the father
dad was
died,
his dad was a terrorist. They killed him in Yemen, and guess what? They bombed a freaking outdoor restaurant and killed a 16-year-old American child. I don't think his dad was a good guy.
but he wasn't
you can't-
targeted though, right?
Oh my God!
That was
They
the
blew him up with a
targeted.
drone
No, we didn't
strike.
say
I have a
targeted.
question.
You did
We
say
didn't-
targeted.
I have a question for
No.
everyone.
They blew
Go
up
ahead.
a
Go
restaurant.
ahead, Kat.
Specifically.
Go ahead, Kat.
And Trip said you don't want to go down this angle with drones, bro.
He
You don't want to go
wasn't-
down this
Three
angle.
more minutes.
He got killed, and we.
But their
that's
excuse
fine.
was
I'm
that he
just
should've-
saying.
Cats, go
Even
ahead.
if he
Going back
wasn't-
to
I have a
the
question for
original
you.
topic.
Okay,
They're
so
having
last
a
time,
pissing
don't say
contest at
targeted
the moment,
when
Cats.
you
So-
another
You're missing the
another
point.
terrorist
You're
leader
missing
was
the
targeted.
point. You're missing
Premise.
the point.
Wait,
You're
what's
so
the point?
disingenuous.
What's up,
The
Kat?
point is that
No.
their
Let's-
excuse. Stop. Their point was the point was that their excuse was he should have had a better dad, not that sorry he was a casualty. It was a mistake. All right.
Yeah, no, he was saying that the reason the son was in a position to be near another terrorist leader is because he himself was a terrorist leader. I don't understand how this is so hard for you to grasp.
Because Grimace, here's why. Number one, they lied about it the first time. They literally lied about it in the first report, had to amend it. One person actually almost got charged for lying. John Brennan's been charged with lying to Congress twice. But also, I just want to remind you. Yeah, it was.
The one who said he should have had a better dad. I'm pretty sure it was
exactly that. Oh, that quote. But he almost
That's the
got-
exact same thing I just
Now,
said,
wait,
just
hold on.
shorter.
Okay, I want
No,
Cats
no,
to get in here because
we
he's
for
been
everybody.
patiently waiting. Go ahead,
Targeted the
Cats.
child to- Wait, one last thing. One last thing.
Jupiter, you
last
said
thing.
that CIA took him out because he was going to be a Luke Skywalker. Do you remember that?
No.
That is
There was going to be
also
some Luke
prob-
Skywalker trying to avenge his father. Do you remember the
Grimace,
statement you made then?
I want Cats to
Don't
get in
you
here.
think he would've?
Cats, go ahead.
I'm just saying.
My question is, we all
Cat!
have these opinions about, what companies should be held to. So, here's my question. Is there anything that any company could do? Like, are any of you willing to give up your smartphones or your internet connections is there anything that these companies could do that was smartphone?
I have Android, so I don't even.
My guess is no.
From one.
No, any smartphone, whether it be Google Pixel, Android, whether it be iPhone, Samsung, you know what? Because they're all made by the same Chinese slave labor. I don't care what the label is on it. I don't care what the software on it. They're all made by slaves. They're all made by people in China, one way or another. Like, there are no made in America phones. There are no Japanese phones. All of our phones are made in China. And is there anyone here who is so committed to your principles that you'll give up your phone? I'm gonna guess no.
No, we can pressure the government to take a stance against this other government.
Why?
Hopefully,
According to you,
multilaterally.
it's
Let them take a
according
stance
to you,
against China, who's using Uyghur Muslim camps, Uyghur Muslim death
Exactly,
camps.
and we got a
And
shitty ass president. who
they
says
are
that's
making
fine.
the phones
That's why we need a leader that will come
President
in,
Trump
get the
has
allies
been-
together, and you guys need to stop this, or we're going to
President
stop
Trump
buying
has
these
been
goods
harder
from you.
on China.
Why are we going into the
Trump has
president? I
been-
mean, Joe Biden has China.
We're talking about these Uyghur camps, and you know that he's done absolutely nothing. about them.
President Trump has been harder on China than anybody
You
else.
can say it like a mantra all you
Also,
want. We're talking
it's
about the
true.
Uyghur camps.
It's a fact.
And President Trump has
the
done
made it
nothing
illegal
about
to
them
say-
because
he just
they
made
came
it- Joe
out during
Biden won't
do
President
anything
Trump's,
about it.
Okay, hold
This
on,
week-
one at a time, one at a
Hold on,
time, one
this
at a
week,
time.
President
One at a time. Go ahead.
Yo, Tree, I have to get this out. This week, he put out an executive order about American companies cannot be selling technology. They can't use American technology. They can't buy our microchips. You cannot sell it to Chinese companies anymore. Every Chinese company, if you have more than 50 people in your company, you have to have a Communist Party bureau within your company. It's not like these are private companies doing their own thing. They are
Trip,
run
if I
by
fact check you, is
government
this gonna come
officials.
back exactly the way you said it. That
What?
there has to be like a communist bureau inside of any company.
There's like a division. It's like
I'll
their
tell you
HR, but it's communist HR for them. I don't know the exact term.
I'll tell you that.
They have
I'll
that.
tell you
If
this,
50 or
if
more
you
employees.
want
But
to
we're
talk
not talking
about
about Uyghurs anymore, right?
if you
What are
want to talk
what are
about
you talking about, dude?
Trump's
I
stance
was talking
on
about Uyghurs.
China, If you want to talk about
I'm
Trump's
talking about
stance
you.
on
You
China,
said,
Trump
what
was
has
the
he
one that
done?
said that
You said,
U.S.
what has
Do y'all
Trump's
see
done
how
integrated with
so
China.
Grimace
Thank you.
has that gift where he just triggers everybody? Hold on, this is I want to get off this subject, but I want to say one last thing.
All at once.
Just yeah.
Three, according to Grimace, it's a blessing for these guys to get out of the rice paddies and weld their hands together to make an iPhone.
Yeah.
Wait.
China, you can look at their standard of life going up since they adopted a capitalist market. Now,
You're
we
right.
can still have problems with the way they treat their workers, and it's up to us as consumers to put pressure on them for them to
Yes.
stop their practices.
Hard agree. Who wears Nikes here? Who wears Nikes? Because I don't. And I stopped wearing Nikes ever since I met a sweatshop worker from Indonesia who got beaten by Nike employees at the factory for trying to start a union. I chose that. That's one of the things that I choose to do. And so
And
Grimace
we
has a
can
point
agree
when he
that
said,
that
hold on.
didn't do anything, right? We need
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Wait,
It's a
let me
small
fucking finish.
personal
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
giving you
agreeing
some.
with you,
Yes,
Grimace.
that's my choice. And there are things that I'm gonna do. I'm never gonna ever wear Nike again. I'm sure I've got plenty of sweatshop shoes in there, but that experience, it made me say, this is one of the hills I'm deciding I'm gonna die on this hill. No more Nike for me. They're the biggest offender in the world, so I'm just not gonna wear them. And so be it. Whatever. You can have your own things for that too. If you don't like that your favorite band voted for Trump, you don't have to listen to them anymore. But it's not gonna actually make that big of a dent in the world. Okay. So what I'm saying is, yes, you're right. It's not going to make that big of a difference, but it is the right thing to do.
All right, last question, and I don't want to go into a long debate about this. Who's going to be more harder on China, Biden or Trump?
Trump. I mean, there's some issues with Biden.
Let's go around. Let's go around the table. Felix, who's going to be harder on China, Trump or Biden?
Pass.
Okay,
I
Joe.
plead the fifth.
Howard.
Oh,
I mean, that's
three.
Say again.
I mean, that's
Okay.
like asking if two fifth graders can complete the LSAT. I think both are kind of failing at the finish line here. But if I had to give a little bit of ground to somebody, probably Donald Trump, because he talks a little bit more shit. But
Oh man, that's called
Grimace. Grimace.
Yeah, Trump had that Huawei thing, the whole personal, the protected information patent issues that he's passed and taken care of. He's got that. That's fine. I don't see why Biden wouldn't do the same thing. I don't see why Biden wouldn't try to get our allies to put together some pressure.
That's not
to
my
actually
question.
Prevent, no, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying Biden's more than capable of doing these things, and he's identified this in his speeches. And now that like China's like actually catching up to us, they might have passed this recently in GDP right now that we can actually get a coalition together to put pressure on China.
You are saying that
they're fucking bullshit.
you're saying your answer is Biden would be harder on China than Trump.
I think Biden has the potential to be harder than Trump. Like I don't think like Trump's done anything of like.
I need
substance
you
right
to
now.
answer my question. Who is realistically going to be harder on China, Biden or Trump?
So like, I have Trump's record, and I have an ambiguous cloud of Biden's record. That's why I say Biden has the potential to do more because there could be a lot. More
Has
done.
Biden ever
That's
been
the only
hard
difference.
on Trump? I mean, excuse me. Has Biden ever been hard on China?
As a senator or VP? I think I'm not sure
Years
what
ago
It's
for me.
no.
as a VP. I'm not sure if he's ever done anything as a senator,
No.
but I guess he's commander in chief now.
He.
Not yet.
No, what? Like this is a pretty recent thing that we're trying to
Grimace,
tackle. as a
you
country,
have
the growing
TDS so
threat of China.
bad that you won't even give Trump this one thing. By the way,
can't even
I'm not even a Trump supporter.
I said that
and-
he did a good job on
No,
on
no,
the
no.
patent,
I-
on the
come
patent
on,
he
dude.
was doing with
Come,
Huawei.
come on, dude. I'm
I
not
will
even
say
a Trump
this, like-
supporter, and I have to say that Trump is going to be way harder on China than Biden. You can't even give him
mean,
that. You can't even give him
I'll
that.
give-
Trump was really hard on our farmers, not China.
Dude, oh my
I mean,
God.
I will give Trump.
We
Why
gotta
did
find a
they
cure
go
for that
on
TDS you got, dude.
Oh,
Jeez
I will
Louise.
give Trump this. Like with his tariffs on China, my phone
vaccine.
can't get any updates. So I'll give him a point on that.
You bought a Huawei? You have a Huawei?
No, I have a phone from ZTE.
You
I did too.
basically
It
are
was
full-
amazing. It
Yeah,
was It was a
Yeah,
great.
and I fucking love this phone. It has 2 fucking screens. I had
love
one
the
where I was like
ZTE. I'll give it
Skype
to you.
teaching, and it
But
fucking
share
sucks.
Support our
man.
allies. Go to ASUS.
Yeah, Asus? I don't
Okay,
know.
all
No,
right.
ZTE
Let's
is
go.
way
Let's go to
better
the top
than-
part, and then we're gonna do. I'm not even gonna do closing arguments.
I
We're gonna.
didn't get to
No, I
answer.
said we're gonna go to
I
the top
didn't
part.
get to say.
I haven't gotten to you yet because I'm gonna
I
go to
didn't get
trip
to
yet.
answer the Trump and Biden.
I have not got to you yet. I'm going to Twitter. Okay, I'm going to Trip. I'm going to Trip. Okay. All right, now here, Trip. You go ahead. Next.
So I would approach this question from the angle of Biden may or may not be compromised and sympathetic to China. And the proof that I would go with is that he used tax money, our tax money, to fly with his son to China on Air Force Two to negotiate a business deal with Chinese nationals. And I mean, also, if you just look at what's been happening and the leaks that are coming out, sorry, not leaks, the spies that have been caught in our country, like banging our politicians, and we're not even really reporting on it in this country. It's really weird because like Australia and England are
I just need a short answer.
The fact that
you are going on a tangent here. Okay, there we go. All right.
What I'm saying is I'm going from the angle of like Biden has already proven that he's compromised by China.
Okay.
And we have Chinese spies in this country sleeping with our senators. And so he used our tax money.
4 years. What has he actually done of like substance?
What in terms of China?
He's put about
sanctions,
$465 worth of
tariffs.
He brought almost 15% of the lost manufacturing
what
back.
has that resulted in? Like,
It results in
results here.
It means our jobs don't go. It's more expensive for them to import shit.
Okay, but you guys are still talking about slave labor in these.
Grimace,
hold
on.
I thought you guys were concerned about this.
Are you defending slave labor?
Guys, this is how y'all deal with Grimace. Grimace, is the tariffs not an action of being hard on China? Because do you think Biden? So
Biden's gonna lift them.
Exactly.
Day comes and he's gonna lift them.
There's no evidence to say that's like
so.
Done
so
anything.
you understand. So you
and we'll be in
understand.
war in Libya and Yemen.
So
that's
you
actually not. That's
so
actually,
you
as a matter of
understand
fact,
that
not
there's
true.
no history of Biden ever doing anything remotely strict against China that Trump has already done. And as a matter of fact, I agree with everybody. He's going to undo what Biden's going to undo what Trump has done if he was to get in office.
This is all Nixon's fault.
Undo the approach.
Can I give my answer?
Go ahead, Jupiter.
He said, wait. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jupiter.
China's gonna eat our lunch. Come on, man. And in the immortal words of the whistleblower on Hunter Biden, who took $1.5 billion from the Chinese Communist Party, Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden. There is the most classic clip. You can find it easily. It's Hunter Biden's whistleblower. He's a Chinese guy, and he's now in the United States talking about these deals that Hunter made on behalf of the big guy from a now confirmed laptop. Biden is compromised.
Definitely not confirmed. We're still waiting for the metadata on those emails, right?
But you seriously not?
Are you
no, we don't. Let's skip it.
So
not even worth our time.
No, it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. No, it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Don't do it. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Don't do it. Don't do it. Grimace is doing a trap. Don't. It's a debate.
But you guys don't know how this shit works because you're too fucking dumb.
Grimace is doing.
And you just can't admit.
Don't want to believe it if it goes against your side.
Go ahead, Rafiq.
You could just
I'll listen to him right now.
just released the metadata, this would be all cleared up, and I'd agree with all of you.
No, you won't.
Nothing would ever be enough.
No. This Rudy Giuliani has a copy of all. This. He's the one who
can get in trouble if he
releases
releases that. It's an active investigation. They've been investigating Hunter Biden for a year.
Look at the excuses you guys are making up right now. When the guy just released the laptop the other day. Now you're just like, oh guys, it's underneath investigation, right?
Trip, it's bait.
Yeah, we were right. We were right.
It's you getting fucking dunked on because you have no idea how to back
no,
up
it's not.
and verify his laptop.
Grimace.
It's about you not being able to call out your own side when they do something wrong.
And the only way you confirm emails by releasing the metadata. So
do this all the time. What you do is you don't like something that goes against your side. You just don't believe
this
it.
isn't about
and
liking
something.
I'm illustrating to you right now how you can confirm it. You get Rudy Giuliani to release the metadata
It's
on the
illegal.
emails instead of dumb
Grimace,
fucking
Grimace.
Photoshop PDFs that like kids do to fake grades.
Okay,
and give
hold
it
on,
to
hold on,
their-
guys. Let's
actually
hold
knew
on.
how it
Stop.
You can easily
Okay,
do it.
hold on. Grimace,
Actually
Grimace,
knew how
Grimace,
it worked. You
Grimace.
would know that
Jupiter,
it would be illegal if Giuliani
shh.
did that.
Guys, listen. First of all, I don't want to talk about this no more because here's a fact. The FBI been investigating this shit for over a goddamn year, and they have verified everything. So when they come out with their whole
What did they
report,
verify?
where you got
This
to
week, dude, like it came out this week. Do you not pay attention to shit?
Hunter
listen.
admitted it.
Hold on. I want to get to Rafiq
it my turn?
because, and then we're going to get to Cass, and then we're going to go to the presidency thing on January 6th. Okay, Rafiq, go ahead.
On Twitch, I think Twitch is devolving into OnlyFans echo chamber, and I don't think that Joe and Grimace will have enough time unless they grow a vagina. I think that's
Hey, the technology is there.
It is.
Oh dear.
Oh, boy.
yeah.
Well, that's gonna be in my nightmares.
Too late.
No,
Oh
think
my.
Trump,
All right, so
will
I'll
be tough
oh,
on
you
China.
done? I'm sorry.
I think Trump will be tough on China. I'm done.
Okay, and last but not least, Cats, and then we're gonna go into the next topic because I am
Okay.
ending in 3 hours. So let's go. Let's
So
go to
two
topic.
things. Yeah, fair. Yeah, as far as Twitch is concerned, they're on a losing battle. They're trying to fight a house fight, a super soaker squirt gun of trying to sanitize the internet. It'll never work. It's stupid. It's a PR stunt for Twitter. As far as Trump or Biden being on harder on China, my initial reaction was to cackle like some sort of deranged gay witch. I'll say this again. So Trump crippled the Chinese smart market by restricting their access to our technology, which, believe it or not, is a lot. You basically can't make smartphones without U.S. patents. If you don't think that smartphones are a huge part of the Chinese economy, then you're not paying attention. Biden has spent 50 years enriching himself and his family through various means, all legal, I'm sure. Anyway, yeah, the idea that Biden will be anything other than a vessel for Xi Jinping's semen is laughable, in my opinion. So Trump will be harder on them.
Okay.
Well, that's also gonna be in my nightmares.
All right. So let's do our
You're welcome.
our final discussion, and then we're gonna go to hypotheticals. Okay. Now, January the 6th, they're gonna have the Congress is gonna meet, and we already understand that. Well, let me see. Nevada, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Arizona had submitted alternative electors to basically hold on, let me write my notes because every time I try to go to the top of my head I get it wrong. Okay, so alternative electors were allowed to vote for Trump from Nevada, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Arizona as contested states. If a judicial decision is made in favor of Trump, then electors in those states will go to Trump. However, on January the 6th, all the electoral votes from all of the states that we have had will be given to Vice President Mike Pence. If someone from the Senate and someone, so if a senator, if someone from the Senate and someone from the House object to why these states' electoral votes should not be counted, then both chambers will be forced to go into a closed section to where they will have a meeting to come up with an agreement for the electors in the disputed states. If they don't come up with a resolution, then the Senate would have to vote along with the House. And of course, we understand that each state gets one vote. And as of right now, we have 30 state legislators that are Republican and 20 that are Democrats. And if this is just an if it comes down to where now those states, because this has happened before in our history, in our election history, if it comes down to that before where we have each state get 1 vote, and 30 goes to Trump and 20 goes to Biden, then Trump becomes the winner. He would become our president. You know what I'm saying? What do you think would happen? Or do you think that will not happen, that the electoral votes will not be contested? By the way, just got to tell you guys, Tom Cruise, Rand Paul already stated that they will be the ones contesting it as far as the Senate is concerned. And I think we have Ted Cruz. Did I say Tom Cruise? I'm sorry, Ted Cruz. Yeah. And then we have a couple of
very different opposition.
And we have a couple of the Republicans from the House that will also contest it. So January the 6th is going to be, it's going to be a circus. It's going to be interesting. So I want you all to give you 2 minute. Actually, let's just go into the discussion about it. We didn't have to do no open discussion. So what do you guys? Let's just go into the debate about it. What do you guys think that's going to happen? Do you think it's not going to get contested and Biden is going to go ahead and be confirmed? That is the actual confirmation date right then and there. You know, saying of who is inaugurated. I think on the 19th or the 20th. So what do you guys think?
It'll be a fucking bloodbath, regardless.
Really, you think so? I don't know, man.
Yes.
I see the right just rolling over and taking this one. I think the right's going to roll over and take it. Yeah.
Bingo.
The Trump
let them
are like diehard. They think he's won this like unanimously. There's no way they're gonna bend over and let Biden fist fuck him.
What are they going to do?
Yeah, but the conservative establishment is not a MAGA thing. They will fuck us because they have hated him from the beginning.
And I know I'm sorry. I'm not going to say this because it will get Tree's video taken off, which Cass and I.
That's a thing. We can't even talk about. That's one thing that Twitch got that on us. We can't even talk about anything dealing with the election on YouTube.
Listen,
so
our video got removed.
Do not say if you believe that there's fraud. Keep it to yourself.
Well, we don't believe there's fraud. YouTube, we don't believe there's fraud at all. No, not at all.
I don't believe there's fraud at all, but I will say this. My fucking moron, dumb virgin incel neighbor who lives in the bedroom over from me knows there was fucking fraud. And I said, sir, how dare you? Of course there was no fraud. But I will also say this. I know a lot of people like my dumb virgin incel neighbor, and none of us are going to do a goddamn thing. The right, we all talk a big game. Oh, wait till they come to the suburbs.
True.
Those riots. They go to the suburbs, and we don't do a goddamn
thing. And then nothing happens.
Nothing's going to goddamn happen.
This is the one problem with conservatives, but it's also kind of nice is they just roll over and take it. They play by the rules too much. They're not cool. They don't have any cultural institutions. So me being like they just what do they do?
Broken clock is right twice a day.
They literally got 3 fucking Supreme Court justices appointed.
Grimace, that doesn't mean anything.
Are they MAGA or are they conservative? Because those are two different things.
They're conservative, but
Grimace,
they've gotten so much out of this presidency.
Grimace,
they have.
The Supreme Court? No. Wait a minute.
This is a very honest and genuine question to Joe and Grimace.
Sure.
Let's say all the conservatives believe this was a stolen election. Every one of them. All 75 million. Are you more scared of what's going to happen if Biden gets elected, or would you be more worried about if it gets overturned legitimately about what the left would do? Who are you more fearful of committing violence? Honestly.
Biden was elected, not that if he was elected. I don't know what you're talking about. If there's actual evidence to say that it was,
are you more afraid of
Grimace, no, answer the question. No.
If there was actual
Grimace, answer his question.
Hypothetical right now.
And no, answer his question. Answer Jupiter's question
right now. I swear to God, I'm answering right now. If there's evidence that they can show that there was like widespread fraud.
Just state.
Sure, whatever. Sure. As long as you can show that there was fraud and that either we need to have a new election or whatever, and there's evidence for that, I'd be 100% fine. That, like, what do you mean what they would do?
That wasn't his question.
That's not the question.
That wasn't his question.
Who are you more fearful of committing violence?
Let me rephrase this question. Who are you more afraid of? Trump supporters or Antifa?
If a
So,
war
That's
pops
an
off,
idea.
If
if it
we
popped
look at
off,
who has
boom.
guns and who shoots people, it's probably the right, which I'm more afraid of. The left people, I guess they.
Where's your what?
Antifa's never shot anyone.
Hold on.
Wait, you're saying who I'm afraid of?
No. Y'all doing it wrong. Y'all doing it
Name
wrong.
the list of right-wing
Grimace.
victims.
Let me ask the question.
That wasn't the original.
Let me ask the question, Grimace.
Can't anymore.
If January, if January 6th come around and they overturn and give it to Trump, okay, instead of Biden, or okay, so hold on, let me finish. If they give it to Trump and show the Trump one instead of Biden, okay, that's one scenario. If nothing happens and they say, nope, guys, Biden's going to be the president and he's inaugurated, okay, then you have that scenario. Which scenario will result in riots in the streets? Trump winning or Biden getting riots in the streets.
Are you talking about violence or just like riots in the street?
Riots in the streets.
What's the difference?
Riots in the
willing to
streets.
start
No, I'm keeping my language the same. Riots in the streets.
The lefty anarchists, so the lefty anarchists like really hate
Communists.
liberals, but they also really hate Trump, so they're gonna probably riot no matter what.
Thank you.
But-
That's the question we're asking.
I'm so goddamn tired of this.
That's the question we're asking.
Yeah, sure. But I'm afraid if when this goes down, there's literally so many militia groups around the country right now.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know
There's
what
no
would be
evidence for
The
that.
John Brown Gun
Can I
Club.
answer a question? Okay, so like we just had evidence of the freaking governor of Michigan had a kidnapping plot against her. Like we got to be concerned about
That
these,
had nothing to do with the
fringe,
right. That had nothing to
do.
do with the right. I know about that case.
Okay.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, sure. No,
are you?
I can literally say that about anything. I just took the leftist anarchist kids underneath my side, but now when I talk about like these fringe militia groups who are like all about
That
like,
no,
government,
you cannot. The militia.
Premise, I've never seen
Hold
one
on.
riot.
Hold on a second.
never seen
That
one.
militia.
If you're talking about specifically about rioting, I said that the left they love to riot.
For
But if we're
any
talking about
violence.
violence, the right.
That
the fucking
militia
wizards
group,
want
of these
that
goddamn
militia group was
militias
not
show
from
up one of
the.
these
You
days.
understand that there was anarchists in that militia group, so you cannot put them to the right. Everybody that you don't like cannot be on the right, Grimace. That's not fair.
Wait, libertarians are absolutely on the right.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Libertarians
they are.
are dishonest right now.
Libertarians are the
I knew
non-binary
you was doing
political.
that.
They don't identify as the spectrum.
They are not on
Okay,
the
you
right.
know what? The left,
No, I agree with
they're
Grimace
not going
on
to
this.
commit any violence no matter what.
I
And
agree
anybody who
with
does
Grimace
commit
on
violence,
this.
guess what?
Not with
That's
that
not the
part.
left.
It's never the right. And you know what? That same libertarian group was literally protesting for BLM. But this entire specter of the Boogaloo Boys coming, or these right-wing militias, I never see them. What I see in every single scenario are these massive, either rioting, unpeaceful protesting, mostly peaceful protests. It's always on the right or on the left. It's always. So when I ask you an honest, genuine, simple question, Joe,
I am scared
Joe,
of these militia
you have
groups.
proven to
Absolutely.
be actually fairly honest on most of this stuff. You have standards.
No,
Who would
put
be the real
Rafiq,
issue
put that in a
if
text
this-
chat in Discord.
Let Joe answer.
I mean, if you want my honest opinion, both sides are fucking soft. Both sides are
Both
soft.
sides are soft.
Both sides are soft. I'm not afraid of neither
No,
because the
we're
state is more.
softer.
The state is scarier. The state is scarier because the state has shown they don't give a fuck, and they also have anti-gun laws and anti-militia laws to control where the violence actually is. So, like, if we're talking about who we're really afraid of, we gotta be afraid of the government that's restricting rights like gun rights, where you can't apply gun rights evenly across all 50 states. You can't even like mobilize for even when the state wants to fuck you, right? So, like, because of anti-militia laws, groups like the NFAC can only function in the South. They can't come to New Jersey if somebody dies in the streets at the hands of law enforcement because they're an armed militia, and we have gun control laws, and we're concealed carry state. So that's my point. Like,
Okay,
it's
I love how you
Well,
argue against the state and
games
then
don't
argue
follow.
against gun rights.
hold on. Go ahead,
No, but that's
Rafiq.
my
Go
point.
ahead,
That's my
Rafiq.
point, though.
laws. Do gangs follow gun control laws?
They don't, but what happens? What happens during gun control law? The state doesn't care. The state doesn't give a shit.
That's why we have gun
enforce the
rights.
law. Right, but New Jersey doesn't have gun rights. I want a
Which is
fucking
good.
gun.
Good.
I want a gun to protect myself, my dude. because
New
this
Jersey's
shit-
like
but,
wild.
but Joe,
Respect.
Joe,
Respect.
hold on,
Like-
hold on, Joe.
Joe,
Who,
do you
hold on,
believe in
wait, Jupiter, shh. Joe, who's running New Jersey? A Republican or a Democrat?
Look, both are fucking dog
No,
shit.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Yeah,
No.
my man.
Answer the
Yeah.
question.
My man.
Answer
Chris
the
Christie's a pussy. Governor Murphy's
Okay.
a pussy. They're both
So the
fucking
thing
soft.
about it is
like, what
that-
I want, right?
The Democrats,
go for it, Tim.
the Democrats are the ones that are holding guns away from you guys, not Republicans. So if you want to know who's the people who are trying to infringe upon your rights and not allow you to carry your to exercise your Second Amendment, it ain't our side. Go ahead.
No, but here's the problem, right? Because local politics are way different than the federal politics. Because I've talked to conservative politicians in this fucking state, and they want gun control. Because the only thing that we have to show for that
They're not
is that we don't
conservative.
have. Because we don't it's a bunch of rhinos and dinos. So when push comes to shove in my state, when something like if shit were to actually hit the fan, we're fucked. Because the conservatives are too.
Rights?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck yeah, okay.
For you.
All right.
So
Like-
wait, what rhinos in New
to be fair,
Jersey?
though, to be all of them, quite literally all.
We
of
don't.
them.
I mean, but New Jersey is blue. You have a Democratic mayor, a Democratic governor. I'm trying to figure out where's these rhinos. There's there's no
Let's
Republicans in
work on this,
control
right?
in New Jersey.
So let's take my township, right? My
Okay.
township has a majority Republican, and we're blue as fuck. We're in the 12th district in New Jersey. We have Bonnie Watson, who's in our district. She's our congresswoman, and she won by like an 80-20 split. It is blue as fuck. The problem here is that conservatives know in New Jersey that they can't play the politics game. Because one of the problems at the federal level is that people don't really pay attention to what's happening at the local level. So they play the long grind. They do the respectability, the really kind, like, oh, we're going to go do the barbecues and the parades. We're all going to wave and do gestures. But when it comes down to actual policy, we can't get shit done. So we're going to keep our lips sealed and not introduce anything. So the problem, my concern about this state is that New Jersey is no longer competitive for conservatives. So even though we can like get things done, quote unquote, in terms of things like coronavirus relief or what have you, like certain restrictions were a bit more strict for COVID-19, but that doesn't fucking matter because the conservatives are too fucking soft to introduce any type of challenge because the only thing they can do is do the long game. So they'll do redistricting to limit power. They'll push in the House and the Senate for Supreme Court justices. They'll do that game, but when it comes to the local game, they're soft as shit.
They
So as
have
much
no
as I
power
wanna see
locally. It's
something-
all Democratic ran. I don't understand. You're saying that the people
right,
who are
but
in
I'm saying-
power
but I'm saying,
are.
like, what they.
You're not holding them responsible, but
yeah,
you're
no,
holding the people who are
well-
not in power responsible
Joe,
and being weak.
No, my point is, Tree, just so I'm clear as possible,
Okay.
is that I want conservatism to be competitive in my state. But what happens is when they have control and when they have power, because I'm seeing it right now in my own township, they're not doing anything. They're still playing the game of like, we have these seats, so we're going to play the respectability game. We're not going to bring anything radical to the table. You know, maybe we'll repair a sidewalk here. Maybe we'll like support
But Joe,
the Girl
those
Scouts here
aren't
for that.
those aren't conservative. What that is in New Jersey and in deep blue states like New York,
Yeah.
that's controlled opposition. These aren't conservatives.
Yeah, he called them rhinos.
Conservatives
He called them
means
rhinos.
it literally just means low tax.
Keep the
That's
status quo.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's and, yeah, that's the thing. Like, and look, at the end of the day, like that's something that they could even pitch, right? Because the one thing, I live in one of the most affluent townships in this state. Like our GDP is almost like I think 200 times higher than the average. Our poverty rate before COVID start was 2.7%. But at the same time, we have like all this good stuff with this Republican majority, but they don't bring anything substantive to change the lives of their citizens. They just play the line, and I think that's because of the fact we're in a majority. So, and that concerns me because I want to see Republicans be competitive in my state, and because every time they try, they get raffle stomped, and then they're stuck in like Ocean County. Where like, I mean, you guys know Ocean County from that Trump brigade that they did on the Turnpike on the Parkway, but at the end of the day, like. It's just they're all soft, and it really sucks because for something that I want to advocate for.
Joe, are you near Belmar, New Jersey?
No, I'm closer to the capital.
Oh, bummer. I was going to say go to Belmar, visit those gym owners that's giving your governor hell.
Oh no, they're coming. Oh yeah, so they're coming down. So yeah, so
Yes.
so it's rumored right now, but they're going to suspend their license at the start of the year It's right now it's in the rumors, but it's pretty much confirmed.
I wonder what all these court cases are going to, when the court cases come out.
They already been coming out, and
the
the SCOTUS has been voting on the side of the people, and it's only a matter of time before that gym owner, because they already in California, they already sided with the gym, saying that the governor has no right to tell the gym that they can't be open and have a max and tell how many people can be inside the gym. I did a video on it. It's on this channel, and so it's just a matter of time. They also did one in New York with the churches, so it's only a matter of time before the case for the gym owner in New Jersey get to SCOTUS. It's just going to take some time.
And something that concerns me
just go visit that gym. You'll have to go through Camden, which I know will be like.
I've been to that gym before. Yeah.
Okay.
One of my concerns about that gym, right, is that I would love to like see them go, yeah, you know, fight the fucking government on these restrictions. It's bullshit. But they are not doing themselves any favors in terms of what they owe to the fucking state. Because once the shit hits the fan, they're gonna like bring up their record, and their record sucks.
No. What do you mean? No. Those fines will be those fines will be dismissed, because that's what happened with the other gym. The other gym owed $89,000, and when it got to SCOTUS like, they don't owe y'all shit. Then say, go ahead and open up your business, and that same thing will happen.
Yeah,
you can't make them pay fines when they didn't break the law and stuff like when their First Amendment was violated. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I agree with you that. Like, my point is that they had backed rent and back costs before COVID hit.
Oh,
so one of the reasons why they pushed so hard is because they were already in the red. That gym fucking sucks. I don't know why they're fighting from this hill. I get it's the last thing they have.
All right, that's all right. I heard that on NPR. That's actually been refuted. I will.
Has it? Okay.
I'll grant you that. That's been very well refuted, by the way. But either way, fighting the government on these unbelievably unconstitutional. I'm not going to allow the government, the state, which you are raging against, as am I, to manipulate my mind and say, oh, well, the only reason these dissidents of the state are fighting against us is because they have back rent. No, they're fighting against them, and they're doing yeoman's.
No, but I'm saying, yeah, I'm with you.
But why bring it up then?
I'm saying that it's like that's ammunition you could bring up in a case, right? So like if they didn't have past
transgressions, because you really can't bring that up.
To black criminals all the time. They bring up alimony all the time. They're paying child support.
Yeah, it's part of the game in the legal system. Like they'll bring up anything to discredit what they're fighting for.
What I said to him was,
sorry.
Well, no, I interrupted you. I apologize.
Yeah, no, you
I do that all the time. You'll get used to it. I'm the worst. Sorry. I'm not being rude. But Tree said, huh? I said to him, that's the same argument the state often makes against black fathers who are in the penal system. They'll say, oh, well, he owes all this child support, and they'll use back criminal records, even if he's been totally fine for 10, 15 years. They'll bring up criminal record because at the beginning of the show, we talked a lot about the whole black thing. And what I was saying is that's a common argument the state makes against young or middle-aged black men, that they'll bring up past crimes and say, well, this is a reason why their new fight doesn't matter. You can't bring in the past like that. What the Attila's Gym people are doing it's fucking awesome, and God bless them. And by the way, so far, I believe it's 0 cases of COVID can be attributed to Attila's Gym.
Yeah, they got they check temperatures. They got this machine that like sends out UV. I've been there. I visited them. I felt like my.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's our trip, man.
Yeah. And I guess my point to center back to the hypothetical about left and right extremism, like at the end of the day, like there's so many laws, and just like the system does a good job at doing system shit. So even when I'm looking towards the election and just like the resolution of this, there has to be something incredibly loud in the next 30 days for my mind to be swayed that that Joe's gonna put that book on that Bible. And you know what they're gonna fucking do? They're gonna do that fucking virtual town hall bullshit where everybody's in their Zoom calls fucking clapping and shit. And I just look, man, like I want COVID to end so that shit can fucking stop. Have you watched the WWE? It's brutal.
I still think you guys are biased, and you won't admit that there's violence coming from your side. You and Grimace.
Well, no, I look, no,
Wait,
like, look,
I acknowledged it. What are you talking about? But I'm saying that like there's actual like gun-toting militias that are
see,
up to,
you
like,
sully it.
wanting to
Hold on a
kidnap
second, Joe.
governors and shit.
Grimace, you sully it that
Wanted.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you do. You sully it. You go, well, I acknowledge it, but what about them Trump supporting militias? And nobody even hear
about like violence to myself. Or the people
Well,
around me.
You should be.
Riots.
Aren't you in
Just
Seattle?
don't go where the riots are. But when it comes to like right-wing militias, I have no fucking idea.
Go
I
ahead,
definitely
Joe.
sympathize
Go
with
ahead.
Grimace.
I'm just-
I mean, all of the autonomous Trump
What's
zones
it?
that have been set up, like, you know, all of the right-wing gulags that have been burning businesses and, you know, trying to extort money from people. Like, yeah, I would definitely be afraid of militias too. Oh wait,
I don't.
did I say
look,
militias? I meant Black Lives Matter. And
I don't
Antifa.
think there's enough organization for them to cause actual type of damage, because at the end of the day, like, the president can at any point, he could, if he really wanted to, and the governors could just have restrictions and bring in the National Guard.
How
He
would
saw
that
this-
look? They call
It would
him a
look
Nazi,
bad. It would look
and
bad.
That's why he has it.
So
And
it
I'll just say
proves
this:
that
he's
there's
not a
$2
fascist.
billion. There's $2 billion in damage so far.
Sure.
And plenty of body count. for
There's
BLM.
more than that, and there's more than that, because what you can claim for your insurance stops at a certain level. So let's say it's $30,000. That's what's totaled in that 2 billion number that Jupiter just quoted.
I'm
So
with
it's
you on
actually
that, yeah.
way higher. So and
Really?
Joe brought up something interesting. He said that they're not organized, so you're not worried about the damage. I think that is exactly why we need to be worried about the damage. It's because of their lack of organization. Now there are organized militias like John Brown Gun Club and other like radical communist, revolutionary communist groups and things like that. And yes, there are right-wing militias too. There are tons of different people that I'd be worried about. But remember, the image of a gun is one thing. Someone walking around with a gun is one thing. These militias are generally trained. Right, you're supposed to be trained on how to use guns, right? But if you get someone who is in a disorganized like mob riot and one of them has a gun, like what we saw happen in Wisconsin earlier this year, yeah, it gets out of hand very quickly when you have people who don't know what they're doing and they burn down car dealerships and they shoot each other, and then that's what I think we're going to see if. In Jupiter's hypothetical, if for some reason it comes out that hypothetically there was some sort of flipping of votes, hypothetically, then, and if Trump stayed, I think we would see a bloodbath, a real bloodbath. But the right is going to just roll over and be like, damn it, we'll get him next time.
I
And they
disagree with this.
probably won't.
I disagree.
Yes,
let me
we will.
hold on. No.
Now you-
Listen to me.
Which
listen
part?
to me.
Which part?
I disagree with the right, because I'm part of the right. I ain't gonna roll over shit. The thing about it is that you guys are not understanding that all of this violence is not happening where we live. It's not, this bullshit is not happening in red states. This is happening in Berkeley, in Seattle, in Oregon. This is happening in blue states. Nobody's coming to the fucking South and doing no goddamn riding and fucking people over. You serious? This stuff is happening in blue states. So it's only blue states are gonna have the riots. It's only blue states are gonna have the fucking bloodbath. Not here. Not in red states.
Right, but those are American citizens, and what I'm saying is like people are going to get hurt if, in the hypothetical, if Trump didn't leave, even if it was proven to be legit and legal and whatever, even if all the proof came out or whatever, it would still be, you know, people getting hurt in the streets, and I don't think that would happen if Biden just quietly
But see, this is what you guys said. You guys said Republican. No, I had to call you out on that bullshit about. Don't get me wrong. The conservatives are pussies. I should know. I call
What are they
them
going to
pussies.
do?
Hold
But
on,
what are they going to do?
Hold on. I call them pussies all the time. I know pussies when I see one. I got one. Okay. The thing about it is that they're not. You're saying that the Republicans are going to roll over. I am telling you, no, we're not, because they're not bringing that fight to our turf. They're fucking up their own shit at their own blue cities and their own blue states.
But they're not going to be they're not going to be violent like the left is going to be violent if that happens.
Republicans and the
You're
only
right. You're right.
Republicans, only way they're gonna fuck Republicans up unless Republicans go to a blue state like they always do. The only time for Republicans get fucked up is when they go to a blue city like Washington,
Like Portland.
like New York,
Portland.
like Portland. That's the only time Republicans get fucked up is when they take their dumb asses to a fucking blue city or go blue state. But if you stay your fucking ass in your fucking red state, nothing would happen to you. So that's what I'm saying. Nothing's going to happen to no Republicans if they stay where the fuck they're supposed to stay. But when you go, one moment, hold on. If you don't go to blue cities, you ain't going to get that goddamn smoke. So I don't understand about this goddamn rolling over shit.
What are they supposed to do though? Just leave? Because it's not that easy to move.
Stay your ass at home.
I mean, I've done it a lot.
I told you what the fuck you do.
No, but
I'm not going to go to a place where I'm outnumbered.
Right.
I'm not going to go to Washington, D.C.
Right.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
You're 1,000% right. I'm from Pittsburgh. When they came to PA, they fucked around and found out. I get what you're saying. You're 1,000% right. What we're saying is that when Biden, if God forbid, this creature, well, really, it's going to be Kamala with her hand on the Bible. If she gets inaugurated, we're not going to go to D.C. and burn everything down. Yeah, if they come to the deep red, they're gonna get fucked. But if fucking Trump gets elected, as he should, I believe this freak incel next to me believes he won fair and square. If Trump gets elected, the blue will converge onto DC. The blue will burn everything down. And
they will lose their shit.
We'll be fine. I'll be fine. The red will be fine.
I'll be fine.
People will.
We'll be fine.
They will start targeting Trump supporters in the streets.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead, Joe.
I think you're giving the government. I think you're giving the government enough credit here. Like, if they really thought that there was a legitimate threat of people coming to Washington D.C., they would shut that shit down preemptively.
It did come to D.C.
Right. My point
those
is
are peaceful protesters.
No, they literally had to clear the. Yeah, mostly 91% peaceful. They literally had to clear the tear gas. Yes.
No, they didn't have to. They wanted to make a scene. What are you talking about? There's videos of the entire incident. There's nobody being violent.
Like,
I've seen
again, like my
multiple-
point is here.
Didn't like 5 people get stabbed this weekend? This week.
That's a nice pivot.
People talk a lot about
you just said it was
right-wing
peaceful.
violence, about how Trump supporters are going to be the ones that are going to lead this violent revolution against everyone. But it's funny how the violence is disproportionately on one side. You have to really stretch the definition of what counts as a right-wing supporter in order to find a lot of evidence. Oh, okay, please. How many times do we have mass name a right-wing mass riot? You can name like maybe an
anarchist riot.
There, but...
name a non-anarchist
riot.
Black Lives Matter.
Don't riot.
Okay.
Did you just say they don't?
Black Lives Matter don't riot?
those are the anarchist kids who start talking about.
They're not anarchists. They're revolutionary communists. Get it right.
Well, you can
anarcho-communists, by the way.
Cats.
Start over. Okay. So minus the octopus attack, which is like, you feel threatened, you squirt ink everywhere so no one can see what you're talking about. So call them anarchists. Use 100 labels, call them an ist or that, or they're not ours. But
this is what you're trying to do. That's what.
Let them finish. Let them finish, Grimace.
There are 100 other little labels that you can use to distract. Like, well, those aren't ours. They're actually this or that or that or this. Like, but you cannot name a mass right-wing populist uprising that caused violence. It's always not right-wing. You may say it's not left. You may say it's not ours. But it's not people with MAGA hats that are burning down cities, that are setting up autonomous zones, that are beating people up and extorting money from businesses. It's just not happening. You can say they're not ours. You can try to obscure the issue and say that, like, oh, whatever.
You're literally trying to obscure the issue. You're saying you have to reach really far, and these people aren't on the right. But then when you point to anarchists and communists who aren't actually on the political left in the United States, you're like, but look at these people. What's that?
Yes, but who's supporting them?
Show a right-wing mass uprising.
You're telling me that right-wing militias are supported on the right?
Grimace,
what I'm telling you is that Democrats are bending the knee and bowing to the mob.
Right-wing violence on a mass scale.
Hold on. Y'all gotta be specific. Listen, y'all gotta be specific with the question with Grimace. You gotta be specific. Y'all not doing it right. Grimace, name a right-wing. Okay, go ahead.
This is a trap question because this is the problem when because I'm just gonna call it out like it is. It's really just like white supremacist extremism, and one of the problems is, and this is a problem with the left and the right. It's not exclusive to either ideology.
Wait,
How about this, Joe?
Hold on.
Joe,
This is the point.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
This
Let him
is
finish.
the
Let him
point here.
finish. Let him
This is
finish.
the point here because I'm not on Grimace's side on this. Is that one of my concerns here? Is that when white supremacist extremist groups got together the last time with the Aryan Nation, they splintered off and infiltrated and went into other groups. So what happens is in practice is that you don't see a lot of the organization and the type of militarization that you would see traditionally with white extremism. Now, the problem comes in is these groups, I would argue, infiltrated both the far left and the far right. And what happens is when you go into a movement or go into a demonstration, if you're a law enforcement officer, there's no way for you to really clearly differentiate the two. It just looks like extremism.
So you're blaming white supremacy on all this riots?
No, I'm blaming the disorganization of both the left and the right. Because at the end of the day, if Antifa is going in there to protect people like they say they are,
they're not doing that.
Right, that's my point. They're not doing that. That's my point. I'm not giving credence to this shit.
Hold on. Grimace. Hold on. Wait. Grimace, name one right-wing militia that started a riot or started that just basically started any type of violence. Just name one.
I mean, we were talking about specific militias, like the group in Michigan plotting.
Well, your statement, if I'm not mistaken, your statement. Hold on a second.
The kid who shot up the Walmart.
Hold on. You said a militia. No, I'm repeating what you said. You said that right-wing militias are the ones that you are afraid of to start violence. Isn't that what you said? Okay, so I asked you, name such a right-wing militia. Don't name an individual. Name that so-called militia.
Well, I'm not sure of the militias' names. There's like 20,000 militias.
No, just give me one. Just give me, or give me an incident. Give me an incident of a. No, you gave
Michigan.
That was not a militia. That was not a militia.
A mass shooter, and if you want to go down the crime,
that was the FBI doing a good job, and those people were from all over the political spectrum.
And that was not a militia. Come on now.
Ultra left.
Yeah.
Oh God, you guys are doing the same thing.
Grimace.
As far as right-wing shooting goes, there's literally
you guys
shootings that we're talking about. We can look at the Civil shootings in California, right? And then we can look at the militia group that's going after the Michigan governor.
But that was not a right-wing militia. Stop doing that.
I don't know. Maybe you put yourself in a position to not ever have any evidence against your point.
They legitimately weren't right wing, but Joe, I'm just gonna say this: you're a fuck ton smarter than what you're trapped into, which is this ethno-narcissism, which is brainwashing. Ethno-narcissism is a state.
You're not gonna address my
by
points?
the way,
Grimace,
you just said it's all dumb. These aren't right-wing groups. But random anarchists.
No.
That's all the left.
He was ignoring.
Wait a minute.
You guys want to have your cake, and you want to eat
I
it
would
too.
gladly address someone who's honest and genuine and believes in what they believe in. That's why I'm addressing Joe. You're not even answering the goddamn question. He's actually worth speaking to. Joe's worth speaking to. You're not.
Okay.
You're not even.
What is the timeline?
I literally gave you 3 examples, and you said those aren't right wing. I don't know what else to tell you. It sounds like you're unable to engage in my point.
Because Grimace, your examples. Stop talking. Your examples were a lone wolf shooter in a grocery store who was a racist and a terrible person.
Yeah, got it.
The question wasn't that. The question was, when did they loot and burn down buildings and riot? That was the question. The question was
who am I afraid of? It's these lone wolf or whatever the fuck you talking about.
And then
people have guns on the right. That's who I'm talking about. And now they gathered in.
All you do is just talk over. Shut the fuck up, Grimace. All you do all the time is just fucking talk over people. Shut the fuck up.
It's because you straw man me with every point you're trying to make.
God. You're doing
I'm telling
it
you
again.
why I interrupt you is because you straw man me with every single question.
I'm not straw manning you. Stop doing it. Fucking stop. What I'm telling you is you didn't answer Kat's question.
I'm sorry. Hey, no. Sorry. Okay, what's Kat's question? What didn't I answer?
He said name an incident where they.
He said name the militia.
A mob of right wingers. All right,
right wing
and
group or militia
burned.
yeah,
and
I
looted
pointed
and
to the
caused a
Michigan
riot.
one.
A riot. A riot is not a
Grimace,
shooting. in a
no,
car.
stop. Grimace,
I
he's
said
not a
nothing about
militia.
riots. I said I'm scared
He's
of the
not a
violence
militia. He's
from
not a
That's the
militia.
question.
He's not a militia, Grimace. Stop
That's
that.
the question.
He's not a
Hold on.
militia.
I think
He's not a
let
militia.
me
Wait,
let me try.
talking
The
about?
Michigan shooter.
Let me try.
He's not a militia.
I want Joe to try. Joe, I want Joe to try.
Let's hear Joe. What
I
he has to
sense a
say.
concern where because we don't have proper domestic terrorist organization, what I mean by that is we don't have the proper categorization through the Department of Homeland Security, CIA, or FBI. So what happens is we run into this weird type of conversation where we can name a right-wing extremist group. I don't think we can, because a lot of times these individuals are lone actors. And it feels like you guys are arguing that these lone actors, despite what they're doing, might not fall under either ideology. Am I understanding that correctly?
Not,
In terms of,
almost.
left or right?
Actually, yes,
No,
almost.
no,
but
no.
what?
That's
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
What I was
Almost.
close.
Hold on. And Trip,
What
you
I
go,
was
and then
trying to say was
hold on.
that left wing.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, Cats. Go ahead, Cats. Cats, go ahead.
Oh, what I was trying to say is that when you come to the right, you're talking about usually lone wolf actors, but you're not talking about mass uprising movements that are targeting violence against communities.
Sure.
Whereas
can
with the
clarify.
left,
I see what you're saying. I see what I need to clarify. So
Okay,
when we go
please
back to
clarify.
the original question of who I'm afraid of, right? As far as violence goes, or who I think is most likely to commit violence, I point to these right-wing shooters that we can see that this racist, hyped up rhetoric has led us over the last 4 years. And now I see all of these militia groups gathering, right? And then we see plots against the governor. And my concern is that these people are getting more and more empowered, that they're gathering in groups, and that we actually have the potential that these former, I guess, lone wolf shooters that we've seen plenty of evidence of there being violence, and then gathering in groups, and then not having the barriers put on them before.
Except it never happens.
Grimace actually has a point
It never
here.
happens though.
He actually has a point here, because what he's correct me if I'm wrong, Grimace, but what you're saying is that now they are emboldened and could possibly be lone wolf shooters who do this thing.
It's a lie. You guys, no, Trip. First of all, once again, the militia against the governor is not on the right. Stop it. This is my fourth time telling you that.
I'm not agreeing with him. I'm saying that this is his point. His point is that could happen.
They're not on the right. You cannot call libertarians right wing.
In the hypothetical
case, Antifa is not on the left. That's all.
Right,
I have to
exactly.
say.
Yes. But here's the difference, though. The difference is the Democrats who are elected, the regular liberals who will always vote for Democrats, are supporting them. They hang Black Lives Matter and Antifa and whatever in their window, and they think they're helping. And then they think anything that any Trump supporter, anything they've ever done is racist and evil. I'm over here, I can't stand either fucking side of, if you're going to support that, right? Or if you're going to be in a right-wing militia.
Violence at all. Just because there's lone actors within the Black Lives Matter movement.
Kamala Harris put her pronouns in her bio on Twitter.
Okay.
Get real, dude.
Okay.
It
Who
is
support? Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, dude, it's part of the ideology. It's in
Let
the
me ask a
same
question.
manual, dude.
Let me ask a question. Hold on. I never got a chance to answer this question. Hold on a second. Who supports what political ideology supports Antifa and Black Lives Matter? Republicans or Democrats?
Democrats.
Okay, so
Democrats.
Democrats.
Okay, so once
support them.
Yes, they do.
Come on, Grimace. Oh my God, this is what I'm talking about.
They don't. You have no credibility.
God,
You really think
no,
that?
I know
no,
why
no.
you guys are so confused.
To side with Grimace a
you're
little.
the one. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Joe.
To
How about
side with
all those
Grimace a
20-year-old
little
white
bit.
girls who put black squares on their Instagram? They all voted Democrat.
Well, here's the
talking about violence
problem.
here,
Here's the
Trip.
problem, right?
Concentrate.
When the rubber hits the road for a lot of these sort of slacktivists, they're not actually there for the cause, right? They're willing to do the black box. They're willing to throw up $20 to some organization where they have no idea the money comes from. But when the rubber actually hits the road and it's okay, go vote for policies that you feel very passionate about, they can hardly string a sentence about what affordable health care looks like.
I
and
agree.
that's my
Joe,
my concern.
Never
He's
once
on the money.
agreed with you. You are 100,000% on the money.
Because
these people don't give a shit about the goddamn cause, and
Right.
also
They want
I
to
will
look
say-
cool.
They want to look
and here's-
cool. It's trendy. But wait, real quick, because I never was allowed to say this because I was laughed and gaslighted. Back to an actual conversation between me and Joe. Joe, I just want to point something out. You asked me what I said was ethno-narcissism. Okay. Ethno-narcissism, I've noticed every single time these questions are proposed. Well, why is it always BLM and Antifa that riot? Why is it this and that? It's always, every time your answer is, well, white supremacy or white supremacists injected themselves into these movements. There's always an excuse why it's not the fault. And I want to point out that if you continue that mindset, if it's always the outside, if it's always outside your house, if it's always your neighbor that's messing with your house, you'll never actually clean house. What's actually happening and what Grimace wouldn't accept is that there's only one group that's been rioting, burning, and terrorizing using political violence, which is a key of fascism and communism.
Thank you.
And on top of that, he wanted to go to things like mass shooters. Here's a scary statistic that you two may not believe. Overwhelmingly, mass shootings in this country are performed by black males from the age of 16 to 25. That's a fact. And when Grimace talks about fear, he brings up a couple white kids, fucking incel virgins messed up on SSRIs.
You just switched from political violence to just violence, just so everybody's clear on the chat to
This
what
is
Jupiter just pulled
gaslighting.
off.
I'm getting to my point.
This isn't gaslighting. That's you trying to gaslight.
Yeah,
Go on.
Grimace, let him
keep
finish.
going, keep going.
Let him finish.
The point is, Joe
Grimace,
actually
let him
seems to
finish.
get the message. Unlike Grimace, Joe actually seems to get the message. He calls these white girls with BLM painted on their face. He knows what they are. He sees it. He's not fucking dumb. He knows what they are. He sees all this. He actually believes in what he's saying, unlike you, Grimace, who will fucking go along with any party line fucking nonsense.
Do I have to listen to this?
And so,
Tree, or can I respond to this idiot?
I'll wrap it up. My point is, Joe, if it continues to the point where it's always white supremacists are infiltrating and that's what's happening, you'll never look inward and see what's happening to your movement that's being hijacked.
Yeah, I have 2 points. I mean, the first point is Grimace and I have known each other for a while. Something that has been very helpful for me with talking to him is just being as direct as possible. And sometimes I think that's getting lost sometimes, and then I think it's one of the points getting lost. It's just an observation. Now to because again, Grimace and I don't agree on a lot of shit. So
just like Hammer, what on Joe is going on. I feel like I'm talking about a whole bunch of different definitions. I'm talking about who do I fear violence from? Okay, and then I'm hearing about right-wing militias. Name one right-wing militia. I'm like, that's completely different.
No,
but now
Katz never said that. Katz never said that.
Okay, somebody did.
Hold on.
Hold on.
I want Joe to finish it, but I'll clarify that. I said that because you said you fear right-wing militia, and I said name the right-wing militia. That came from me because of what you said.
And Katz said name an event, or name a time that it happened, the mob rioting.
Just one.
There's never been.
No, I don't want to go in there. I want Joe to finish it. I want Joe to finish. Joe,
I never made this point that there's going to be right wing rioting, right? But you guys are making me have to argue.
No, we
against it.
never. We know you never made that point.
And
You said you.
which question.
No, hold on. One more thing, and then we're going to get back to Joe. Grimace, we never said you said that. You said that you fear right-wing militia, and I was the one that said, name a right-wing militia that caused some type of violence. And then that's when you went to the single person and blah, blah, blah.
Too,
right. So, okay, Joe, go ahead. So we cleared that up.
Right, and that's and you agree. Okay, so how do I word this thought? That's really my concern with the demonstrations at large, that because of the lack of sort of centralization and focus on what actually is at hand, we get into these weird type of ambiguous conversations, right? So if I understand that everybody practices democracy in a different way during demonstrations, I should understand that there's people that are going to need more help than others, right? There are some people who might be ex-military. There might be people who might be ex-medic. There might be people who are former cops. But at the end of the day, the priority should be to protect people. And what's happening, and I'm just because I've been at demonstrations for this, is that sometimes there's no centralization about what the actual goals and the objectives are within the movement, right? So like if you're going on a protest or demonstration, it's like our goal is to get from here to here by 7 o'clock, and that's it. And then after that, we disperse. But what happens is in practice, because I see this, like there are people who are a little bit more edgy and frustrated with the system who act out, and then maybe they'll throw like a bottle towards a police officer, and it's like, dude, are you fucking stupid? Like there's a very specific group of people who they will engage upon if you do some dumb shit like that. And what happens is, because we're a little bit better here in Central Jersey, when we do demonstrations, it's just like we're doing this, here's the law enforcement that's going to be within us, here's the law enforcement on the outside, this is our objective. If you're going to do anything that's going to either fuck with law enforcement or fuck with property, you shouldn't be here. That's why I was so against the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, because like if he's going in there of like, I'm going to bring in myself to protect the people who can't protect themselves, that's all well and good, but it seemed like he was going in there to protect property. And if I'm a law enforcement officer
and people, he was hired to do both. I know that full story.
Yeah, like,
and he was there. And
Yeah.
by the way, there's so many.
He's one of the sweetest individuals.
There's a lot of lies about Kyle Rittenhouse, but but he came in there.
Yeah. My point is that, I guess that may have been a bad example. My point here is that sometimes people go into things where like they come in with like a riot shield, and it's like, what are you fucking doing? And it's like, I'm here to help you guys, and it's like, bro, go the fuck home. Like, what are you doing? It's 2 p.m. on a Saturday.
He's right on this. If you want to protest, do it the right way. And there are some people that spoil good protests for everybody else, and it gives the entire movement a bad name. However,
there's something that I do want to. There's something I do long for, and then I'll shut the fuck up for a bit. Like I do think that there is a divide between law enforcement and protest proper. So what that looks like in practice, when I did a demonstration in Atlantic City right after George Floyd, we had essentially a vanguard. And basically it was just like, how it worked is that we had 4 officers along with 5 other individuals within our group, and it was just a vanguard for the demonstrators. And our job was just to protect the fucking people. That was it. And we also had like the police chief among us for AC. That was really based, because when we were going out there, it was just concentrated. Like our goal was to go from here to here. We would have some demonstrations and different like presentations, and then we would disperse. And what happens is in practice is that people get like the message late, and then they show up when we're already like sort of dispersed and separated. And then as we see, once the sun goes down, things turn into a shit show. And something that I wish that demonstrations did was, I don't know how this could start, is more integration with law enforcement that's there, because so far I've seen like a very clear divide between like protesters on one end, police on another, where I think that in reality, like the job should be to protect the people who are trying to exercise their rights. And sometimes what happens is when you have somebody who's in there in the group who's not down for that cause of just like demonstrating from A to B, then things get really complicated. And that's something I want to see moving forward.
But Joe, why doesn't that ever happen at these 40,000 plus person MAGA rallies or March for MAGA or Stop the Steal?
I'll tell you, I want to answer this question. So why that never happens, you've got, a group of MAGA people waving their Trump flags, whatever, on one side of the street, and then you've got, let's even say that they're peaceful protesters, and maybe there's a couple Antifa sprinkled in there with their black bloc LARPer types, all right, that may ruin it for everybody. Let's say they don't, but which way are the cops always facing? If the cops are in the middle, which way are the cops always facing? They've got their eyes on the like
Antifa and the ones on the left. Yeah.
It's because we know from this year and since Occupy, we know where the violence comes from. And it's funny that they're keeping their eyes on them, because they know what's going to happen if anything pops off. And if that one person throws that bottle, and Joe's right about this, that can really, really ruin a good protest that's like, all in good faith and well and good and whatever. But if it comes from anyone, like almost exclusively, it comes from the lefty side. I'm on the left, and I'm saying this. All right, I want everyone in chat also to know that, like, I'm a lefty. I still consider myself a lefty, but I can admit it, and some people can't.
Call these people lone wolves within the.
Yes.
Okay. Well, guess what?
Call the
bottle thrower. The bottle thrower, right, Grimace?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. But like Joe said, at night, shit starts going down and shit pops off and one person throws a bottle and someone says, yeah, now let's light one on fire and throw it at cops. I'm sure you guys all saw that video. You know, it happened.
Or to reinforce
I
what you're
don't
saying,
agree with
even
any of that. Actually, what you just said, Trip. Go ahead.
Any what?
Yeah.
What?
Well, even in a mosh, like even in a mosh pit, right? Like I don't know how many
violence
because I'm sorry, because
Yeah.
the Antifa actually will organize and they will say, okay, here, you take this bottle, you go this. When they confiscated in Chicago, when they had when the Chicago police made that big old square and actually trapped all of them in there where they only had one place they can get out so they can frisk them and go through their bags. 95% of the weapons was found on them, not on the Black Lives Matter protesters. It was found on Antifa members.
I'm agreeing with you. That's what I'm saying. So, but there are bad actors.
But they're not lone wolves
protest.
if they have weapons. If they have Molotov cocktails and actually bats and all kinds of things to throw at the police,
but
that's not a lone wolf.
Tell me if this is
That's
fair.
not what I said. That's not what I said.
Tell me if this is fair.
And Joe didn't. Go ahead, Ken. Sorry.
Go ahead,
when there's right wing violence, it's usually a lone wolf, someone who isn't part of the movement, because right wing world do not condone violence as far as protests. But left wing agitation is usually part of a more organized process, because left wing violence is historically speaking a part of the process. Collective uprising, collective organization, collective violence.
I will say though, to push back a little bit, one of the problems is you need to have mobilization and organization. And what tends to happen is Antifa might be able to get the people there to mobilize towards a cause, whether it be some like reactionary nonsense. When I mean reactionary, I mean literally like they see something and then they respond to that. And what happens is, what gets really weird is that they're able to get maybe, I don't know, like 500 people about something, but then there's no organization within that, because then if they were to show that there's some type of organization, then there might be an easy target to things like the FBI, CIA, like COINTELPRO.
Are you saying that they're not an organization?
No, I'm saying that their organization is dog shit. And when I only care about groups, I only care about groups who are able to. I'm only worried about.
True.
No, but my point is,
we got 5 more minutes on this.
Okay,
5 more minutes on this, and then we're gonna go to hypotheticals.
Let him get his point. Get
yeah. My point is about organization and mobilization, right? Like one of the reasons why, right, like whatever people would consider as right extremism, there's never any type of organization and mobilization. Like that's why you see like a lone individual who like is really disenfranchised about whatever they're feeling, and then maybe they go to their movement proper and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, because if I'm somebody who's a Proud Boy and I'm trying to reshape what the Proud Boy's image is, and I see some kid who's spewing some like weird anti-black hate speech, I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? We're trying to separate ourselves from this, and you're fucking that shit up.
And then the Proud Boys, by the way, do a fantastic job at that.
No, they don't. We actually, I would
argue.
Hold on, Joe.
Enrico Tarrio hold on. Fucking stick.
Hold Jupiter. I did a live stream. And we saw the Proud Boys, and they let one of these motherfuckers push the police officer. And you know what them bitch motherfuckers did? They let that motherfucker do it. And I was like, how come the Proud Boys ain't beating his ass? And then everybody wants to say, oh, the Proud Boys got infiltrated. The Proud Boys. I say, no. See, in the hood, in the gang, if anybody within the gang goes outside the gang's protocol, the gang members within that gang beat the shit out of that own gang member. Okay, no
if
one
you're
from
lucky
the
in that regard.
No.
In some regard, you'll just go missing.
Yeah, you'll go exactly. True. No one from the Proud Boys put that motherfucker in check, and I was like, "Fuck the Proud Boys. I'm no longer on their side no more. Fuck them. You don't put your hands on the fucking police like that. No.
Here's why. Listen, please, God, can I?
Go ahead.
People that aren't here to defend themselves.
Go ahead.
Their leader, Enrique, who, by the way, is a king. By the way, black, Hispanic.
Don't care.
Guy, one of the most top. If you're going to say after one, and I saw the incident, and everyone, including Enrique, there are chapters all over the world. If there's one incident that doesn't get checked, I get it. But they have done yeoman's work to kick the fucking racists out, to kick everyone awful out. And I just want to say something to Joe's point, which is he made a great point. You're right. When the right wingers go to demonstrate, they know all eyes are on them. They're going to be called racist no matter what. The eyes on them to make a move. The media, this goes to it. The media and the state are on the side of left-wing terrorism, and that's a fact. Left-wing is held to a much lower standard than right-wing. And until the media starts reporting on both sides fairly, so instead of highlighting one Proud Boy acting up as opposed to calling thousands of riots mostly peaceful and saying Antifa isn't organized, which they are. They're funded and organized. Most of them aren't, but there are lieutenants and funding. Until that happens, your movement is never going to get legs because people like me who probably would be on your side for a lot of the things that you're talking about, we're never going to buy into it until we get fair treatment as well. And you rid the litter on your porch as well.
But they won't do that. The ultra lefties won't do that because that's their brand. That's what gets them followers.
Again, I would argue a lot of local movements. I'm going to use just New Jersey as an example here. A lot of local movements here are much stronger and have better influence than what people see at like what I'm going to call the federal level, which is on the mainstream side of like conversations. What I really wish is that I want people like I guess if to tonic like I guess my general concern here. I want to see protesters protected. I want to see demonstrators protected. And what sucks is that the state hasn't really shown that they're able to protect them. And then what happens is something needs to fill that void, right? And that void, unfortunately, you could say is being filled with Antifa. And while
the state watched you guys burn multiple federal buildings to the ground, brother.
No, but again, I'm
about to do 2 minute closing arguments in a minute. Go ahead, but I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, it's like that's not the movement. Now, obviously, what happens is every state's going to have a different set of problems when they're tackling things like police overreach and stuff like that. Like my problems in Jersey are going to be totally different than like Grimace's problems wherever he lives with all of his plants and his crazy LED panels in the back. Like we're going to have different solutions to these things. Like I could say in my state, there needs to be better use of force reporting so that we can actually find out what the problems are. Because in our state, if let's say somebody is drunk and belligerent and acts up on an officer, any officer who comes into contact or even touches that suspect has to write a force report. And my state is very strict about writing force reports. So you see like one guy may have had 7 officers touch them, and that fucks with police statistics. And that's like, that doesn't solve anything because then like in my township, I'm apparently statistically over 2,000% more likely to be met with force, despite the fact we've only had 16 use of forces. I think in like 2019.
I need to see stats on that.
All right, we're gonna do.
I will say this. You said last thing. The 2 seconds. I'll shut the fuck up. I swear to God. Joe, you said, but these situations, but that's not the movement. I agree. The people that cause trouble in your movement, that's not your movement. But every time one of my boys does the slightest thing wrong, every time some fucking moron does something wrong or says something wrong, that all of a sudden is my movement. You have to understand that that's the difference. We're held to a different standard, and it breeds resentment. That's my point.
And you also knocked that like the media doesn't do a good job either.
All right, let's do 2 minute closing argument, starting with Phalix. Go ahead, 2 minute closing argument. At least I'm gonna get one hypothetical in here, and then we're gonna close at the top of the hour. So go ahead, Phalix, do your last 2 closing arguments in reference to. Wow, we got off topic.
Yeah, my question was, what am I doing a closing argument about?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I don't, because we got off topic so bad, just make a last closing argument on anything you want now. So, cause we totally got off a topic. So you can close it with the last 2 minutes in reference to what do you think Trump's going to do it, Biden's going to do it. Do you think we need to stop having we need to start having accountability for the groups, or whatever we've been talking about a lot of things today in the last round. So
3 things. I will not interrupt a conversation when I feel I can't add anything to it, because you guys add a lot and I can't add anything that you guys won't. 2, there needs to be more accountability on all sides. 3, Last of Us Part 2 shouldn't have won Game of the Year. It should have been Hades. That's it.
Yes. Yes.
all right, Joe, go.
This would be appropriate for Twitch.
Go ahead, your turn.
Yeah, I guess I'll say here from the jump. Let me also start my timer on my end. Thanks for having me here today. This has been pretty interesting. I didn't realize that I look like a centrist from Grimace's side, because I tend to be very farther left on certain things.
Wait, this isn't closing statements on the podcast.
Right. I'm just saying, just generally, it's been very interesting. I really think that come election, I think Joe's going to be on that Bible. And what I'm really interested about is just seeing him fulfill some things that he allegedly promised. I'm really critical about neoconservatism. I think it's been fucking us ever since Bush Sr. went out of office and we had Clinton. It's just been really dangerous, and it just affects everybody. This idea that there's personal responsibility, but to an extent, but then we want the government to help you to an extent. It just seems like the government doesn't really figure out what it wants to fucking do. And my concern is that when the pendulum swings to Joe Biden, we might see this neoconservatism where the next person on the right is going to be far what people might consider objectively worse than Donald Trump. And what that looks like is maybe there's going to be some politician who we don't even know about that's just going to come up and say some things that's going to rally up some people again, because Joe Biden's going to treat the Midwest like it's the fucking that part of a piece of pork belly that you can't eat, but when you have it in your mouth you're like, what the fuck? I think that's how he treats the fucking Midwest. And it's no, these are people who need help. West Virginia needs help regardless. And he's going I'm going to go in the center and we're going to meet in the middle, when listen, motherfucker, we know majorities get shit done. There's a reason why Mitch McConnell is just cock blocking everything. Okay. He's literally that dad that you bring anybody over that's just gonna no, I don't like that. I don't like that girl. What the fuck, bro? But it's a little stressful, but we'll get there at some point.
All right.
If soon.
Okay, Grimace, your last 2 minutes, 2 minutes on the closing argument on what we've been discussing. We have been discussing a lot.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I do agree that Hades should have won Game of the Year. It's a very low budget game.
Finally,
had a lot of crazy. Yeah, no, it was really good. I absolutely agree. And I still play the shit out of it. A lot of replayability. To go back to what I was trying to say, I was taking issue with the both sidisms that I kept saying, that the left is responsible for all this violence, but all these right wing groups that I can point to, that's not what the right wing is. And that's literally what I was trying to say about the left. As far as being fearful, I'm saying there's a lot of right wing shooters that we can see and how they're motivated, and that I'm afraid now because all these militia groups have sprung up and we're seeing all kinds of activities coming from them. So some bad acting from the Proud Boys. People are getting emboldened, especially when they're in crowds, and they all happen to have guns and they all hate the government and yada yada yada. Sounds right wing to me. That's what I'm afraid of over there. As far as Joe Biden goes, I'm a little concerned that you guys are okay with overturning a legitimate election with absolutely no evidence to show that there's some big conspiracy to invalidate Trump votes for some odd reason, or put in fake Biden votes.
Grimace,
you guys
don't interrupt him.
Clinging on to that. What I want and hope for everybody is to come together. The Republicans can get together and come up with a good game plan to actually fix and solve our problems going forward. And it's the same thing with the liberals over here. We can move forward so we don't have the next 4 years be as stressful and divisive as the past 4 years, and we can go and we can just make our country better, and we can work together. That would be great.
All right.
You want to make the country better? So would you say you want to make America great again? Is that what?
Please don't activate his TDS again, please. Please don't do that.
Not again. I just want to make America great. We could be a lot better, and we've only been on the downturn recently.
Okay,
So
Trip.
not MAGA, MABA. Make America better.
Trip,
I'm
go
just
ahead.
being cute.
Trip,
Okay, so
go ahead.
as for the original question, first of all, I don't think any election should be overturned. When Grimace said like you guys think that election should be overturned, I'm not advocating for that at all. I'm advocating for anything that's whatever the legal decision is, we're gonna just have to fucking live with it. So, anyways, the original question was, will the election be overturned on January 6th? I really doubt it. Like it's still going into the territory of he could still win, and here's how, and just these 8 things have to happen, and it has to be a full moon, and the stars align. And it's not going to happen. If it does, that'll be weird. If it does, we're going to have a lot of violence on our hands. And even if, and this goes back to the point that we made a little bit earlier, even if it is found to be overturned for legitimate reasons, like undeniable proof, let's just say hypothetically that happens, there will be mass violence because people are going to lose their shit. And it's going to be the left that lose their shit. I don't think we're going to see violence from the right when Biden is sworn in. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe small pockets of, like fist fights and stuff at counter demonstrations, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere on the scale that we'd see if Trump stayed.
Okay. All right, Jupiter.
Yeah, I agree with exactly what Tripp said about I would never want to overturn an election. I have no not only would I never want that to happen, I think it would tear the country apart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to overturn any election, period. Even if some guy other than me doesn't think that it was an election. I just want the real election to take place. And if I lose, I will put my hat in my hand, figure out what my side did wrong, and try to work better on the next trip. I really will. I have no interest in stealing. I just want it to be fair. Also, like Tripp said, yeah, we'll roll right over. Most of us will. Our side isn't into political violence. It's not an attribute of our side. But I will say, number one, my dog, Maggie the dog, prayers if you could. She broke her paw a little bit. Yeah, I know. But last thing, it's very, very, very comforting to be in a conversation with a couple actually very honest, very genuine liberals, because right now, the only other conversations I have are fucking brutal, and we all hate each other. I'm not even speaking to my sister, so.
Okay.
It's Corona, man.
All right.
Also,
hey, we
new
hear
MAGA
hey,
ornament.
we hear feedback.
Someone's got their
me?
computer on in the
Yeah,
back.
that's on you, Jupiter. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, all right. That was a cute ornament, by the way. Cute. Rafiq, what's up? Go ahead and do your 2-minute closing.
I'm
All right. I don't know who's going to win. No matter who's president, I don't think the violence and riots will stop. I mean, the worst case scenario, and which is the wet dream of grifters, is Trump declaring martial law, which would create a de facto military rule in which the left will go ballistic and suddenly care about the Constitution.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I mean, the vote could go to Trump, or it could go to Biden. I'm just for every legal vote counting. That's all I'm for. Here, I'll just leave it at that. Either side will feel disenfranchised. The violence will be more on the left, of course, feeling most disenfranchised, because New York City people were throwing block parties that Biden won. Even though it's a pandemic and social distancing, but those rules don't count for left activities of protesting and riots and block parties for Joe Biden. So those same people will go ballistic if it turns out that Trump becomes the president, and I think the polarization will be a point of no return. I mean, you already got people not talking to each other because of of Trump, of the coronavirus, and I think it'll just go to that level. And the left doesn't really, they say they want to heal the divide, but they don't show it. I'm hearing like they want to cancel the Republicans, have a short list of people who voted for Trump, but that was AOC and everything. So no, there's no heal divide. I see balkanization. It'll be like red zones, blue zones. So, and the thing is, you know what, people get, they get what they deserve. I mean, I fault the Republicans for not having a backbone. Hashtag not all. I fault Donald Trump for failure to pick people who stand by him in draining the swamp as opposed to picking people part of the swamp. And overall, I blame the right for allowing social media to become very politically far left, well, left-leaning, which have led to all the censorship and one-sided fact-checking. I mean, they all have to suffer the consequences of their decisions and lack of decisions. But what I really do hope that happens is that the Republicans win those Georgia Senate races. Tree of logic, please do what you can to make sure those Republicans win.
Baby, Ossoff ain't gonna win shit. David Perdue got this in the bag. Now, I don't know about Warnock. I'm gonna have to be honest, okay? Down here in the South,
We picked wrong.
down here in the South, I don't think I'm just being honest. Warnock may beat Kelly, but Ossoff is not going to beat no David Perdue. David Perdue got this, but I think Warnock is going to. I'm just being honest. I'm not even. You know me. I'm a Republican.
When the hell did your state go blue?
It didn't
When
go
did
blue.
that happen?
It's not blue. We have a Republican. We have a Republican state legislator. We have a Republican governor. We have a Republican Congress. Republican Senate. Republican. We have Republican everything. Okay. We've been infiltrated. The thing about it is that we understand this. And I don't mean to cut you off, Rafiq. Let me just say this. Okay. I've noticed that, when Stacey Abrams said, hey, there's election interference, when she was going against Kemp, and she stated that there was election fraud then, okay, and she refused to concede. Ain't nobody, made a big deal about that. And then all of a sudden, when the same fucking statement was made again, now this time, everybody wants to make a big stink about it. So my thing, I'm just being honest. Those Dominion machines was used by both parties. Just real talk, okay? Real talk. So,
yeah, because Kemp was bought off by fucking China.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that the Dominion machines was used. Yeah, he was. The Dominion machines was used to cheat for both parties. But when it comes to what's happening in Georgia, David Perdue will win. I just got a feeling Warnock is definitely going to win. I don't see Kelly beating Warnock. Warnock is loved down here, believe it or not.
Especially when you realize that the Republicans and MAGA are different beasts.
Very different.
They're not going to see eye to eye on everything.
So,
but
yeah.
Tree, tell me if I'm lying. Mitch McConnell chose Loeffler. That wasn't the MAGA choice. She was our last choice. Actually, her successor would have won. Kelly Loeffler profited from coronavirus. She dumped all of her stocks after a National Security Council right before the pandemic. She doesn't deserve to win, and Mitch McConnell fucked us by putting her in. Our guy would have beat fucking.
Here's the thing, though. Trump's not on the ballot. If Trump was on the ballot, then the MAGAs would come out. They'd vote for Trump, and they go R all the way down. But he's not on the ballot. This is why Republicans lost in 2018.
Real talk. Trump was on the ballot. Yeah, but guess what? Republicans won big time this time. The goddamn house is
because Trump was on the ballot, so people showed up.
I'm gonna say this, and then I want Kat to do his final 2 minutes. As a real right winger, I'd be glad when you fucking mega motherfuckers get the fuck on and do your own goddamn thing, make your own fucking party, and leave us a goddamn. I'm so tired. Y'all brought everything over here and just fuck shit up. I'm so tired of your shit. I do mean it. I'm so tired of y'all.
Me and the communists. Yeah.
Say psych right now. You don't mean it.
No, you guys brought Candace Owens over here. You brought all the fucking identity politics over here. You brought prison reform over here. I'm like, what the fuck? This is not what we do.
I white knighted for you against that bitch.
I know you sure did. You had my
Alex
back,
was
baby.
born.
Mwah!
How dare
You
you.
sure did have my back against that bitch. I'm so glad. It's okay. All right, that's my
dare
boo.
you.
That's my boo. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Cats.
All I can say is that if this election has taught us anything, it's that the mechanisms by which we choose our government officials and allow them to campaign to our people are woefully inadequate for the technology and society we live in. We need far more robust protections of not just actual security, but also perception of security in elections, and also far more robust protections in people of either side being able to speak to people without one platform, one side suppressing the other. As it is right now, it is a fucking free-for-all. It is like a mucha lucha wrestling match, but the script was mixed up in the middle of it. Everyone is throwing shit at each other, screaming. No one is going to believe the results no matter what happens on either side. We have resigned ourselves to the fact that there's going to be some kind of violence and some sort of upset and upheaval no matter what happens. There is no outcome in this election season that does not involve mass chaos. And that's because the elections are not lost faith in our republic and in our democratic process. We need to restore faith in people's ability to believe that their side is shot to speak and that the vote is being conducted in a fair manner. Right now, it's a haphazard hodgepodge of 100,000 different techniques that doesn't give anyone confidence in the results, and that is not going to do us any favors. Although it will definitely make Xi Jinping feel very happy in his investments in a certain camp.
But you and I, of course, Cats, believe in the election, right?
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Okay. Well, I am making great time. Yay. Okay. So now we do. I only got time for one hypothetical, guys, because we've just been having so much fun with the other one. But this is this one is. I hope this doesn't create a long discussion. But here's the hypothetical.
That echoes back.
Hello. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go.
Hello?
Okay, there we go.
Can you hear
All right, here we go.
me?
You guys know that they're
Hello?
trying to build another location on Mars for people to live on, right? You know that? You guys know that? Well, let's say if you didn't know it. All right.
Impractical.
I was thinking that if we were trying to build another civilization on Mars, what do you guys think? And I'm gonna have you all can do free fall, by the way. Would you be for an ethnostate on both races' side, a white ethnostate and a black ethnostate, living separately, far apart from each other on Mars? Would you support that? If you do, let me know why. If you don't, let me know why. Go.
I don't think it'll work. I don't think because they're going to fight over the pyramids on Mars. And who did it? Was it the blacks or the whites?
No, listen. Tree.
Who pays for the rockets? That's
Tree.
my question. Who pays for the
listen.
transportation to set up these ethnostates?
Tree, listen to me.
I don't know. Go ahead.
According to Twitter, in 5 minutes, all black people are supposed to get superpowers. So I don't know. I don't know if that hypothetical is going to work in like 5 minutes from now.
Joe, wait! Don't just say that. Speak on it. Tell them what, please.
I don't know. I just know the memes. All right. Apparently,
flight. You get flight.
Okay. I don't know what they are. Look, man.
What are you talking about?
Well,
I don't know either.
I don't know
what
either.
it is.
I'm lost.
So there's all right. So Joe,
go.
You want to speak on this, or should I explain?
Go ahead, Jupiter. Go ahead.
All right. As a proud black man, I'm gonna be the one to speak on this because pretty soon I'm gonna be getting some superpowers. So there's a solar eclipse coming, and there's also 2 different solar patterns and a flare. That all this time, see, black people were actually white people. We have 98% junk DNA. That's what it's called.
It's literally the plot to heroes. It's literally the plot to heroes.
Yeah, it's bullshit. We're junk. But Black people have none of that. We were built from monkeys and hedgehogs.
Yeah,
and all
you're
Black
Cubians.
people,
Okay.
yes, or cave beasts.
Right. Go ahead.
Black people were built from the sun. I don't want to derail this, but anyway, apparently, Black people are about to be able to fly as of what is it?
3
tonight?
minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes, baby.
And
We got
Really?
They'll be.
I don't know.
Tree, I'll
could
see ya.
be-
Remember
it
your
could-
boy.
It could be EST. It could be PST. No one fucking knows.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Come on.
I'm just saying, like, the logical conclusion is if you're in Portland, man, bunker down, baby. I don't know. I feel bad for y'all 3 minutes from now.
Someone's gonna jump off a building and die.
Grimace, so you've been quiet.
Oh, sure. By the time we can colonize Mars, I'm pretty hopeful that we fucked enough that everybody kind of looks the same. Looks like myself, for instance, and that we're able to not have those kind of racial divides. But
Are you saying you want everyone to look like you? Your race?
Seems a little racist.
I don't have a race, but yeah, I feel like we should move past the whole race.
You're non-binary.
You're non-binary.
I am non-binary.
You're transracial.
Okay, listen. Hold on.
It's happening again on Grimace.
Grimace.
Liz Warren,
Yeah,
Sorry.
Grimace, and it's a hypothetical. So you don't support what I'm hearing is you don't support
Segregated? No.
Okay, that's it. All right, that's what I wanted to hear. Okay, so
I don't support it.
Cats
I
and
also do
Skip.
not support.
Go ahead.
But I'll tell you who does. I'll tell you who does support it. I would never support anything like that, but I'll tell you who does support that.
Even if it's on another
all
planet.
all these woke weirdos who want segregated dorms and graduations and all that shit. We need to get rid of that. We are moving backwards. That is very dangerous. Very dangerous. And the people that are advocating right now for that are the same people who are putting on, black bloc and throwing bottles at cops. And that's weird to me.
What about you,
So I say
Alex?
send all those people to
he's not
Mars
gonna
though. Anyway.
mention any ethnostaters? No, like Ku Klux Klan or anything.
Oh,
like that?
they're definitely doing that. I was talking about the ones who are different graduations and different dorms and classrooms that have only black people, only white people. They actually want segregation, and it's usually these woke weirdos at colleges where I spent too much of my time.
Where
But-
I spend all of my time.
College is the best
We
decade
know.
of my life, but
No, it isn't.
I
Stop
don't-
lying.
I don't want to go back there anytime soon.
All right,
Oh, is it
Phalanx,
my
and
turn to
then
answer the
Phalanx, and
hypothetical?
then Cats, and then I think everybody answered it.
I didn't answer.
Yeah, you did. Didn't
Yeah,
you?
you did.
No, he talked about black people flying.
Oh, okay, Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter, Phalanx,
It's a
and then
hypothetical. It could
Cats.
happen.
Go ahead, Jupiter.
I guess it could happen.
Do you support that type
Alex
of?
can go.
Okay, Phalanx.
Not me?
No, Phalanx now.
Yeah, okay, I get to go. Okay, so as a strong believer that there are definitely aliens in our universe, whatever gets me closer to proving that point and getting the alien gravity superpowers from Mass Effect, I'll support it. Probably not with the Ethnostate, because if that has taught me anything is that I'm gonna be bullied regardless. So I'd rather be bullied by everyone instead of just one person.
All right, Jupiter.
Do I support an ethnostate? Fuck yeah, I do.
On
We're
Mars.
better than you guys.
Oh my
Yes,
god!
on Mars. Listen,
Okay.
yes, we're better than you guys. Trip, tree,
Do not drag me into this.
superior race. Yeah, superior race.
You have one female to reap.
The decent-minded, right-wing, not even right-wing. I don't care. Trip can come, of course. Joe Lewis can
I'm
come.
not-
Katz
I'm
is
not
there.
coming.
Even, but the
But I can't
master
reproduce.
race, yes.
Oh, you mean the human race?
States.
You mean the human race?
Kidding me? On Mars, I'm telling you, the Tree, Trip, Rafik, Katz, Phalanx, Joe Lewis babies, we will be so superior. Other side of Mars will never even get off the fucking ground. You'll be losers. No one will even care about you. Yes, we're the master race.
All right.
Yes. Anything
This is
right
gonna
of
get taken.
center.
This is gonna get pulled out of
You're saying
context.
the round table. You're saying the round table is the master table. The people right here are
You
the
know what?
master
Someone's gonna
race.
clip that and it'll be me saying yes, I support the Ethnostate. Okay, all right.
How did you not?
Even
How did you not realize that's
Jewish.
what's gonna happen?
All right, I don't.
All
I'm
right,
not a
all right.
fucking-
Last but
Well,
not
it's been a
least,
good
go ahead,
run.
Cats.
We'll have fun.
I hear Staples is hiring. Best Buy around the new.
So,
All right,
I'll
Cats, go
say,
ahead.
I'll say two things about.
My boss. Hold on.
No,
Oh,
no,
I'm
hold on,
sorry.
no. Go ahead, Cats. Because I'm
I'll say
going
two-
1
I'll say
minute
two
over.
things
Go
about
ahead.
this. People are always talking about Mars, and you know what? Y'all are stupid. Like, we'll live on the moon for 100 years before we go to Mars because it's way closer and way easier to get into. But regardless, like, I do not support the ethnostate because I think that ethnicity is largely overrated as long as people's freedoms are being respected. But you know who will set up an ethnostate on Mars? Is a country right now that has a space program and is basically an ethnostate already, and that's fucking China.
Yep.
They'll do it,
Say it properly.
guaranteed.
Oh,
Say it right. Say it how I like you when you say it.
China. All right.
China.
Okay, guys, listen. I'm
Or
gonna
they'll
keep
be
my
renamed
word.
Jinping.
Did you finish, Cass? I'm sorry. Did you finish making your closing? Okay. So, guys,
I'm all done.
I'm
All
going to
done.
go ahead and close. I'm gonna have you guys give your your exit. Yes, 3 hours. We're just going like about. By the way, Joe, it's I don't feel different. I don't feel them superpowers. So I guess the eclipse didn't.
I'm
hit
not
me.
going to test them. I'm not going to test them yet.
Come on.
Right?
See it. Do it on camera.
Okay, so
I haven't gotten up yet, so we don't know what's going to happen. You know?
Wait, I'm feeling something.
I want to thank. By the way, I want. We'll go ahead and start with you, Joe, and then Phalix, and then Grimace, and go around. I want to say thank you so much for coming at the last minute. This was a great recommendation for Grimace. That's why he's a keeper. You know what I'm saying? If we have anybody else that's basically cool like you, that's okay to be around here, they're not getting triggered. They're also welcome to come. I apologize that we had two of our members sick, but you'll get a chance to meet them next month. So if you want to come to our crazy little panel again next month, we'll be happy to have you. Okay, so go ahead and give your shout out where people can find you, and just your farewells, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, once again, thank you for having me. This is a pretty chill hang. Grimace told me it was a sweaty little locker, and it didn't disappoint. With that being said, yeah, and again, like, look, like, real talk. I was I guess you could say I'm a former conservative. I voted Democrat in the past few elections, but my vote got suppressed because of other reasons that had nothing to do with the process. That doesn't matter. What does matter is, I guess, plugging my shit. It's just Joe Lewis. The O's a 0. I'm most active on Twitch and Twitter, where you can see me shitpost or just talk about stuff. I do a stream pretty much every day except for Tuesdays and Thursdays. But other than that, yeah, that's where you can find me on stuff. It's been a cool hang.
Cool.
You guys have some crazy takes, but
Yeah, we do. All right, Phalix, go ahead and give your closing, your farewells, and where people can find you.
Always fun to be here. I'm constantly reminded that I'm a very emasculine man, so whenever I need to be emasculated, I'm reminded that I'm on this. And I thank you for it.
Anytime, baby.
Anytime, you're welcome.
Anytime.
You didn't.
Go ahead.
Yes. At Phalix, I think what was it? 1 on Instagram, and then at Phalix11 on Twitter. And that's it. Thank you for having me. Love doing this.
Oh.
Kisses.
All right.
Mwah.
Grimace, once again,
Put your
thank you
grinder
so
hand.
much for coming. I appreciate you.
I am not a whore.
So
yeah,
tell
thanks
everybody
for
where they can
getting-
find you, whatever they can find. But you do have a fan club, but it's a very small fan club, but you do have one here. So
It's fine. I love them. Yeah, twitch.tv/Algrimace. I love everybody in chat because you guys keep me going through this this panel. You guys think I'm not looking? I'm looking. I'm taking.
are
it
you
all
looking
in.
at the chat?
Thanks for having. Yeah, absolutely. And I engage it from time to time. They give me so much fuel, and I appreciate it. Thanks for having Joe Lewis on. Joe Lewis focused me at one point in this conversation when I was about to lose it over Hunter Biden's laptop. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for having me on again. I like having these conversations, not the cancer that some of these roundtables I go on to turns into. And Tree, you asked me once like what I wanted to do on Twitch, and I said I want to work on my my speaking, my public speaking.
Yeah.
And I just want to argue with conservatives. Like those are the two things that I want, and you give both of them to me. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Absolutely. We really loved having you here. Okay. So thank you so much for coming. And Trip, thank you so much for coming by, dude. I actually love your takes.
Thank you for having me. This is always fun.
Yeah.
Thanks. Why you like my takes?
I don't agree with them. I just like them. I think
interesting because I feel like I have some things that you,
I think
you
I
might
agree. I think I agree with half your stuff, and then I said I don't agree with what you just said. I forget what it was though. I had to go back and look at it.
You like when I call out the left?
You're like hazelnut coffee. Like we don't like to drink you, but we like having the option.
Yeah.
People like me because I'm a lefty who calls out lefties.
No, I can't say that because I call out the right too. If you was to call them out on something I call them out on, I would agree with you on that one too. I think it just depends.
One thing I will say, righties do that to their own side more than lefties do that to their own side, which is why I think it's harder to find people like that. But anyway, yeah, my name's Trip. You can follow me on at Archer CA on everything. Archer ARCHER CA. And follow me at everything Archer CA. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. And get well, Archer. He's not.
Get well, Archer. Get well. All right, Jupiter. Jupiter, go ahead.
Trip, God, I love you so much, but God damn it. But yes, absolutely. I don't say this. Cats will tell you when I say I'll pray for someone, I'll pray for them. I will pray for Archer. You have my word.
And BJ,
obviously, but I really will, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
I always pray for BJ's.
Yeah. But I'm Jupiter, and I just want to say, number one, Jews for Mars, for Santa, chat that comes in, they're the fucking best. I never get to see it because it changes after this one. You put it on the other channel, and I never get to see the goddamn chat because if I watch the chat when we're doing this, Tree yells at me. And but I'm always grateful to be on here. Tree, you're the fucking tits. I love all of you. Joe Lewis, Grimace. Joe Lewis, it was a pleasure. It really was. Phalix, I love you. Rafik, obviously, I love you. And of course, you can find me at Jupiter _ on Twitter, and on YouTube, I am at Jupiter. But I wouldn't be much without that gorgeous pink thing up in my upper right. Our cat's gay. That is my heterosexual life mate who happens to be a homosexual. Merry Christmas, guys. And
all right, Merry Christmas. And Rafik.
Belated.
Tree of Logic, thank you for having me here. It's been a blast. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at rjennings333. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. I don't do happy holiday shit. I hope that I do hope that that BJ and Archie get well. So
yeah, isn't it strange when they get normally when people get sick in the past, you're like, oh, okay, they'll get better. Now when you hear them they're sick, you're like, oh, I hope they're all right.
Like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Rafik. Go ahead.
Yes, and the Martians were white.
And green.
Wait, are you talking about the book A Stranger in a Strange Land? They were white. You're right.
The aliens.
Oh, for what it's worth, some shit dropped while we were live. They passed the stimulus package.
So we all get $600 and the dollars devalued.
Not all of us.
Just broke at 11:52.
Let's spend it on phones made by slaves.
Wait, another stimulus is to pay us to get the vaccine, or is it?
I don't know yet. They're
hey
like
Joe,
as we speak.
hey Joe,
So
hey, did they remove? Hold on a second. Did they remove that DMCA? You going to is a felony clause out of that stimulus bill?
Not sure.
Remember that was in that bill. And I don't know if they removed
Yeah,
it
no,
out.
Fuck that.
That if
No,
you
no.
get caught
No,
paying,
no.
if you get caught, if you get a
Listen.
DMCA strike, that's a felony, and they try to sneak that into the stimulus bill. I don't know if it's been removed or not, but if it's been passed, somebody need to check to see if that was in that stimulus bill.
But it's okay. We're all going to be able to buy a PS5 with that stimulus money. The world has been restored. Okay.
So wait, is this $600?
No,
It's
it's like
just
$1,200 to $2,000, Joe Lewis. I'm not sure.
I don't.
Listen.
Family, right?
I don't qualify for any of that money.
Okay, buy an
Just pay
Xbox. I don't
$2,000
know.
for a video card. Things are
Cat-
crazy out there right now.
All right,
I need a new GPU.
last person,
Or you
Cats.
can buy as many. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Cass.
Hello and goodbye, everyone. I am Arcats Gay. Just like it's spelled with a question mark. I am reasonably active on Twitter. I have a YouTube channel. It exists. I haven't been using it a whole lot lately, but we always do the podcast at least once a week with my heterosexual Jewish life mate, Jupiter. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to be here. Joe, you are a refreshing person. Grimace, I actually do like you, even though I sometimes want to throw things at you. But yeah, I enjoy being here.
Joe is a good focus for me to calm me down sometimes. So.
Yes. Everyone, like, a pleasure, and I hope to be here again soon.
All right, yeah, we're gonna be back in next
Tree?
month, so we'll see what happens next month. With January the 6th.
Tree, real quick.
Yes.
Last thing, and I swear I'll never say another word.
Lies. But go ahead.
About it.
Well, I'm lying. I'm lying. I just want to say one thing. I was in line. This is a 2-year-old story, but I was in line, and this lady at Giant Eagle, which is our like Kroger or grocery store, Publix, whatever you have. She's obviously Jewish. The cashier says, "Merry Christmas," and she goes, "I'm Jewish." And I go, "I'm Jewish too. Just say Happy Hanukkah back, you dumb bitch."
I like
That story.
I like that story.
Did she die of a
Fuck
heart
those
attack?
people. If someone says Merry Christmas, if you don't
say it
celebrate
back.
Christmas, just goddamn say whatever. Happy holidays. Whatever. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's true. You can.
American,
All
goddamn
right,
it.
all right. Let me let y'all go because I don't want to
Spread
feel.
some
I don't
goddamn
want
joy
to.
or
I
shut
don't
the
want
fuck up.
nobody to get in trouble. So y'all gotta go. So listen, I will send you guys emails of thank you. DMs of thank you, and I will look forward to seeing you guys next month. Okay.
Sounds
Much
good.
love, Tree.
Okay. Yeah. Peace.
love.
Bye,
Take care, dude.
guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, Trey.
Bye. Thanks again, guys.
Take care.
All right. All right, guys, check it. That was awesome. I you know what? Let me tell y'all something. Where's the chat? I can finally look at the chat. Hold on. I have not seen you guys all day. Hold on a second. Okay, there you go. Let me pop out the chat. There go the chat. Hey, chat, how y'all doing? Oh my God, I have not seen you guys because the way the layout is. I don't get a chance to look at you guys at all. Okay, so hey everybody, hi guys. I just absolutely love my freaking panels. You love the panels? I do too. Thank you, Trisha. I appreciate that. Yes, I freaking love my panels, dude. I freaking love them. Don't y'all love the fact that we have and Joe was great, wasn't he? Actually, let me get off Discord. I know I can. Hold on a second. There. Okay. So Joe was great, wasn't he? Send Discord link, please. To what? Great debate. First time watching. Well, welcome. Who's that? Tokas? No, Taco Shotgun. I have these debates once a month. Joe was awesome. Joe was cool. Y'all like Joe, huh? Cool. Yeah, he's gonna probably be here. He's gonna be here next month as well. You gotta thank Grimace for him though, because Grimace recommended him. I never seen him debate. I've only seen him once. On on a round table with Prime, and I haven't seen him. I haven't really seen much of him since then. But I do know of him, and so when Grimace had told me about him, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know this guy, and so I sent him an invite, and he had lots of handsome men. I know they're all handsome. They all got their little quirks about them. That's what I love so much. That's the reason why I reached out to him, and I'm so glad he was able to come in at the last minute. You know, I really am gonna send good vibes to Archer and BJ. They're sick, and I don't like to hear that they're sick. So I kind of really, it's Taco's hot gun. Oh, okay. Well, you the one who got your name all put together. Taco's hot gun. That is a silly name. I don't understand your name, but if you like it, I love it. That's it. You loved it? Great. So the thing about it is that I really wanted to have this space where we can do this once a month. I love my panels. My panels are just they're fun for me. And I just, if you really want to know it, it's just, I love everybody's personality. It's so different. And I think it's a good chemistry with the personalities there. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, a lot of my fucking chat would be so disappointed if Grimace wasn't on there. Because, you know, believe it or not, you got some people who really like Grimace in my chat. And then you got the rest of y'all just like, Grimace ain't nothing but a lefty. Or you just talk shit. But, you know, Joe did do the balancing out. That was really great. And then, of course, so it didn't feel like, I like the fact that Joe was here to balance it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like it when everybody pounce on Grimace. And it's like a catch-all. And so he balanced that out a lot. And so Grimace was free to do his TDS shit, which is always funny. And I love Trip, you know what I'm saying? And Cats, Jupiter, and Rafik. Rafik is always, I gotta bring Rafik on so we can do a one-on-one. But Jupiter, Cats is always great. I always gotta make sure Cats get a word in because everybody will talk over Cats. You know what I'm saying? Jupiter is y'all favorite. Always love that. Love my boo. And of course, Trip is a good one too. One last donation for support. You have awesome guests and host awesome debates. Joe was cool. Oh, I'm glad you liked him. Thank you, Matthew. Treehouse, the Discord, the old one don't work. Which one? Which old one you talking about, Lion Blues? Send me an email. This is I'm right now I'm kind of like don't know what's going on, and I'm really way past my bedtime, so I don't know what's going on. So there you have it. We need all sides, so I appreciate it. Rafik and Jupiter are my favorite. Awesome, girl. When Trip snapped. Yeah, he did snap, didn't he? That was fun to watch. I was like, look at Trip. I was like, Trip lost it a little bit. He got so mad. That was so fun. I'm sorry. God damn it. I'm tired. I'm the kind of person who would get the popcorn and go. I'll just sit there and watch that shit all the time. So, so that's that. So, it's great. But anyway, guys know how that is. So anywho, I am going to go ahead and log off. I guess I'll talk to you guys for a couple of more minutes, and then I'm going to log off, and I'm going to go to bed. I am so tired. These things kind of wear me out. They don't kind of wear me out. They do wear me out. And so I know we got people watching from D Live and Facebook. I don't see you guys at the moment. But I want to say thank you for watching and everything like that. So this will stay up. And yes, you're watching Trip yell at Grimace smiling. Because it was so different. I'm a sadist. Y'all know me, I'm a sadist. I'll sit there and watch that shit all day long. But it was so funny, dude. It's so funny. How do I subscribe for these debates? You just have to subscribe to this channel, and you have to be careful because YouTube is unsubscribing a lot of people from a lot of these channels. this channel, particularly this channel right here, is political. So they are unsubscribing people from political channels. I noticed that my other channels, nothing is being done to those channels. So any channel that's talking about politics from a right-winger point of view, they're being unsubscribed. So you have to make sure you subscribe and you stay tuned. I only do this every third Sunday of the month. Okay? Every third Sunday of the month. I saw what you said, Unique Laura. You think Rumble will level up to YouTube? It's probably another 10 years they will if they keep doing what they're doing. But I've gone to Rumble. As a matter of fact, I need to create another account on Rumble, but I've gone to Rumble. I'm on Odyssey. I'm on Library, Odyssey, and I'm on Rumble, and I really like Rumble. I really like it. I do. They just have a lot of stuff to deal with. But yeah, I like Rumble a lot. So Gab TV is coming. I don't know. I don't believe they're coming. Ellie or L. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, because BitChute hasn't done anything with they got the money and they still haven't done anything with no live streaming yet. What's your channel on Rumble? Tree of Logic, same thing. Tree of Logic on BitChute, Tree of Logic on Library, Tree of Logic on Odyssey, Tree of Logic on Rumble. So that's that. I just want to compete competitor YouTube. It takes a lot of money though. I don't think nobody's going to. YouTube has to get broken. Google has to get broken up yet for somebody to be competitive for YouTube. But Rumble is on their way there. I fucking love it though. If you hear me say I love something, then it's a good company. You know what I'm saying? It's a really good company. They announce if they're testing still, I think, but it's going to be live soon. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Gab? Or are you talking about BitChute? Okay, you're talking about Gab. Okay, well, probably. We'll see. I would have to see. I don't, Torba ain't really number one in my book if you see there. So there you have it. So, okay. So let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and go now, guys. So anyway, I'm glad you guys came by. Thank you so much for coming by. It was really great. And I will see you all tomorrow, which is late on today, because right now it's 12:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so basically we're going to have my live stream. My live stream starts on Monday at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So I will see you guys during that time. And let's see. What was I going to say? That's it. I think that's it. Do I have to say anything else to you guys? God bless you all. Merry Christmas. I haven't been saying that lately. I've been so busy. Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. All right, guys. I got to go. I will see you guys at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Nighty night, Holly. Hey, Mr. Reese. Merry Christmas. Night, Al. Night, you guys. So, like I said, I will see you guys, at 6:00 p.m. Okay. Lion Blues, Adriana, Unique Laura. I'm glad you guys love the show. See you today, Monday at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Later, taters.